22 and 23 Shorthorn. Results of class number 18 of your Shorthorn show. In first place, entry number 285, MFS Toodles 8M, exhibited by Lucas Wilson of Delton, Michigan. In second place, entry number 291, CFAB Dream Lady 2419, exhibited by Kesley Carson of Newark, Ohio. Third place goes to entry number 287, CSF Margie 2430, exhibited by Kayla Fogg of Rushville, Indiana. Fourth place, entry number 281, exhibited by Alexa Lowe of Macy, Indiana. Fifth place, entry number 284, exhibited by Lindsay Jesser of Moreland, Indiana. Sixth place, entry number 282, Brian and Sally Caverly. In seventh place, entry number 289, Bryce Heverly. Eighth place, entry number 288, exhibited by Campbell Shepard. Your Class 19 results. In first place, entry number 296, GCC Knighted Margie 241, exhibited by Colton Greenhorn of Bellbrook, Ohio. Second place, entry number 303, Steck Chelsea RM 482, exhibited by Keegan Steck of Woodstock, Minnesota. Third place, entry number 297, 7G Max Rosa Roar M13, exhibited by Carson Butcher of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Fourth place, entry number 292, exhibited by Lane McCall of Evanescence, Kentucky. In fifth place, entry number 302, exhibited by Corbin Huber of Ohio. Sixth place, entry number 300, exhibited by Waylon Eckelman. This is your second call, Class 22 and 23 Shorthorn. Second call, Class 22 and 23 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 1A, 1B, and 1C Charolais. Third and final call, Class 1A, 1B, and 1C Charolais.
Once again, really nice trio heifers here on the top side of this class here. Good combination one here of muscle shape, flexibility, and quality of look from the side. The young lady brings us like that at foot size and bone, her flexibility off of both ends. She's a little more shapely over her top and her hip than the next two heifers, and that's where she has that advantage. She still has plenty enough in her lower 1/3 that it balances up good enough in her chest floor back into that rear flank. Just a high quality female, puts a lot of nice things together. Little closer decision for me is 2 and 3. The white heifer, I think, I just prefer her skeletal design. She's better at the way that spine ties into the top side of those blades, her hip-loin juncture, and I think she's actually a little bit more dense up over her top and has a little more width. This heifer puts a lot of nice things together when this young man gets her put together, but I do think she's a little flatter in her muscle pattern compared to my class winner, and that's the subtle differences there. The long-bodied, extended female here that comes in third, and a lot of future in this one here. I think her best days are still yet to come. So extended, so fresh about her chest and her head and her neck. At times on the standstill, she wants to get a little more awkward in her spine compared to those two right in front of her. But man, that's still an awfully elegant female that's got the quality at the ground and the flexibility off of both ends. I like those three heifers quite well. Young lady does a great job getting this one shown, and I know this one doesn't have quite the power today, but I love her skeleton design. Her flexibility is what gets her over the more powerful heifer right in behind her. Young lady, I just don't think she's got the body density to get around those three in front of her today, but she's got a good skeletal design. She's extremely attractive. I think that one's, once again, her best days are yet in front of her. The heifer that's got the mass and the power and the foot size and the bone comes next. Gets a little more rigid in her tailhead and her hip structure. Gets a little more rigid when you set her into motion. Young lady rounding out the class, still a high quality female young lady. This heifer's got some look. She's got some quality at the ground. She just comes at us a little more compact, maybe just a little bit more terminal in her overall appearance compared to those ones right in front of her, but still a high quality female. Good group, really nice trio of females on the top side of that class.
First call, Class 26, Shorthorns. First call, Class 26. Your Class 20 results: in first place, entry number 309, CFLV Margie 430, exhibited by Reagan James of Plymouth, Indiana. In second place, entry number 306, Armstrong Sarah Rose, PW 2405, exhibited by John Allen IV. In third place, entry number 210, LGF Sol MFS Rubies EV 4407, exhibited by Evelyn Hill of Yorktown, Indiana. Fourth place, entry number 310, exhibited by Milia Cover of Bowling Green, Missouri. Fifth place, entry number 308, exhibited by Haley Jester of Moreland, Indiana. Sixth place, entry number 307, exhibited by Natalie Campbell of Diamond, Ohio. Now exhibiting in the Shorthorn ring is class number 21 of your junior heifer calves. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the 2024 National ROE Charolais Show, starting with our Class 1A of our spring heifer calves. We'd also like to introduce our judge today, Mr. Matt Crutcher from Fairgrove, Missouri. Matt and his son Lucas will be judging today's show, and they run a small purebred operation in southwest Missouri with a primary focus on Charolais cattle. Matt currently teaches agriculture in Fairgrove, and his kids are highly active in the Junior Charolais Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the father-son duo today, Mr. Matt and Lucas Crutcher of Fairgrove, Missouri.
What a really good class from top to bottom. And I mean that wholeheartedly. There's good ones all in this particular class. These top four kind of pulled together a little bit for me in this particular class, especially probably these top two. The one that, once again, goes back to what we started the day out with, just balance and symmetry and freshness. I know this one's not overpowering for a January heifer here today, but she balances up so good. And when she relaxes, she's got the flexibility, she's got the extension. I love her over her top and her hip and her design. She's not overwhelming as far as just mass, probably like the heifer that's in second, but everything is proportional, everything fits. That's why she's got to win. A heifer that's in second maybe is a little bit of the denser heifer. She's a little really bold over her top and up out of her hip. I don't think she's as genuine in her shoulder neck juncture as our class winner. She gets just a little coarser about her tail head, maybe not just quite as refined in her features up through her front 1/3, but I love her flexibility, her foot size, and her bone. She matches up with that one that wins quite well. Really unique, highly presented one with some unique features coming third. This young lady, this heifer here's got a big upside. She's got a beautiful coat of hair, presented really, really well. But for me, I don't think she's as genuine as far as her mass is compared to those two heifers right in front of her. I think she runs out of power up through her twist just ever so slightly, but she is flexible. She's unique up through her front end, still has some skeletal spread. I think that's a high quality one that's got some unique parts and pieces, has some big upsides as her future goes on. Really long body, long spine one comes in next. Young lady gets this one planted, gives you a killer look from the side. She gets a little more restricted in her way that she goes around the ring compared to those top three. So that's why she's got us fall in this 4th spot. Young lady coming in next, getting everything she can out of this next female. She's got some body, she's got some hip shape. She just doesn't have enough of it to get around those top 4 females. Gets a little more compact, a little shorter hip, just a little shorter up through her front end. But I think that heifer's got some quality at the ground and very quality at the way that she's built. Your red and white one coming in next gets a little tubular in her design, a little harder for me. I just want to see a little more expansion in that forerib to go with that uniqueness up through her front end. Very flexible, very pliable one comes out, just gets a little plainer about her chest and her head and her neck and her features. Doesn't have quite the balance and the extension and look as some of those heifers right in front of her. Good group, really nice pair trio of females on the top side of that class.
What a great way to start off our Charolais show over here on this side of the ring. We sure brought a lot of quality in, and I think that's kind of what defines the heifer that leads off the class here. Just an ultra high quality heifer. Really like the way that she hooks into the top of her shoulder. I love the balance when you look at her from the side. I like the way her knee sets back into her, and I like the angulation of her passers. Still, when you step behind the female, she's probably the biggest right down the middle of her back and really the widest out of her hip. Now, the heifer that comes in second, there's the big soggy middled one. She's going to be sure an easy keeper as we get going. A heifer that maybe gets us a little shorter up through that front 1/3 when compared to the class winner. Young man's heifer that comes out here in 3rd place. Here's a growthy type of a female. She's probably the longest when you measure her from her shoulder back to her hip. She's got a lot of gas about her. A heifer that probably just gives up a little bit in terms of balance when we can compare her to those first two.
Attention in the barns. Please don't forget that to all of our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion winners from today in the following divisions of cow-calf pair, as well as the heifer and bull shows, don't forget that the top Grand and Reserve will be invited to stay as this year, new in 2024. The North American will be picking a top 5 overall Open Supreme bull, heifer, and cow-calf pair. So once again, if you were one of our Grand and Reserve champions today, here at any of the open shows or the rest of the week, you are invited to stay for the Supreme selection on Thursday. Third and final call, Class 26, Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 26, Shorthorn. This is your first call, Class 27 and 28, Shorthorn. First call, Class 27 and 28, Shorthorn.
Really good class here from top to bottom. High quality females, no doubt. Combination female of freshness and soundness and just general skeletal build. How the young man's heifer's going to win. Her added length of the spine, her length of hip, her extension, she still bounces up so nicely. She has an advantage in the next two heifers from her hook bone back and that awfully powerful yet comfortable hind leg that she possesses. She's got enough width when you get in behind her. She's maybe not carrying quite the condition the next two heifers, and that's okay. She's not quite as bold right through the center part of her body as the next two heifers, but she's still got some turn to that rib cage. It still bounces up good in that lower 1/3. Good, complete female with a lot of attractiveness, yet soundness, and still enough three-dimensional look about her to win this class. A little closer between 2 and 3. The longer I study, the more I like this one. I end up in second, especially as far as her freshness through her chest and her shoulder. She's a little bit more expansive in her pin structure than the heifer that ends up being third. She's really good in her rib cage design. She's good at the ground. Just a high quality female. Not quite as unique through her chest and her head and her neck as that one that wins this class. Bold one here comes third, big bodied. Heifer just, pushing just a little bit more condition in these top trio. Probably for me, I just want to change her from her hooks to her pins. She narrows up a little bit more in her pin structure. She's got the added shape down low. I just want to change and pull that hip apart a little bit more. She gets a little bit more compact, a little bit shorter neck, but still that's a high quality female with a lot of the body density. Long extended female comes next, one that's got some length of hip. Young lady, this heifer just gets a little flatter in her muscle pattern. She's deep, she's extended, she's smooth. I just want to see that little more turn to the muscle shape. She just gets a little more devoid of muscle for me to run her just a spot or two higher. But that's still a high quality female. Young man's coming in next. Long-bodied, extended female, gets a little tighter in her forerib, doesn't have quite the extra shape and dimension in her lower 1/3. Balance and symmetry is what gets the young man's heifer coming in next. Female that's got some product, but yet just doesn't have the extra length and extension and quality of balance.
All right, back over here on the Charolais side, and her second class comes to us today. The heifer that wins the class, I think does so rather handily. She's a very nice presented heifer. She's a heifer that's by far has the most muscularity about her, and that's something I think it's very important in our Charolais cattle, is we got to keep that muscle packed in them, and that's her huge advantage. But at the same time, she's the big rib, big centered heifer. She's a heifer that sets down on her pasterns and feet really nicely. Awfully nice heifer to start with. Heifer that's in second Boy, I really like the design of this female. This is one that you see a whole lot of future in her. Come next summer, this may be the contender out here. She's a heifer that's awesome up through that front 1/3. She tracks around neat in her spine. She hits her steps. She just gives up a little bit in performance to our class winner, but that's one to sure keep an eye on as she progresses through her show career. Young ladies, female in third. Here's the high-performing female of the class. She's a stout-made type of a female. She's got a nice round muscle shape when you view her from behind. Heifer would like to balance up a little bit when we start talking about that shoulder and front end. Heifer would like to maybe deepen down her flank, but an awfully nice type of a female. Female we're going to round out the class with. Here's a heifer that when you look at practicality of size, she's a very practically sized female. She's a heifer that still shows some shape to her rib coming right out of her top side. A heifer that you like the angle to her pasterns when she gets out on the move. Just a heifer that gives up in terms of balance, gets a touch round out of her hip as we compare her to our three that's in front of her.
Second call, Class 4A, Charolais. Second call, Class 4A. Third and final call, Class 27, Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 27, and second call, Class 28, Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 27, and second call, Class 28, Shorthorn. Results of class number 21 of your open Shorthorn female show. In first place goes to entry number 332, Max Rosa Margarita, 418, exhibited by McKinley Evans of Petersburg, Texas. Second place goes to entry number 316, SFF Mona Lisa, 417, exhibited by Grace Rinker of Strasburg, Illinois. In third place, entry number 320, DJS Wild Cherry, C409, exhibited by Blaine Dunklow of Wayne, Nebraska. Fourth place, entry number 315, exhibited by Alanis Knepp of Plymouth, Indiana. Fifth place, entry number 319, exhibited by Liza Chamberlain of Hastings, Minnesota. In sixth place, entry number 333, exhibited by Amelia Clemens. Seventh place, entry number 334, exhibited by Jacqueline Thomas. Your Class 22 results. In first place, entry number 338, CF Mona Lisa, 410, exhibited by Sawyer McGrew of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Second place, entry number 341, Shady Brook PL Springtime, 26M, exhibited by Shady Brook Farm Ltd. of West Brome, Quebec, Canada. In third place, entry number 344, NF Judy's Rose Gal, exhibited by Kendall Nelson of Seneca, Illinois. Fourth place, entry number 348, exhibited by Bristol Souls of Sperry, Oklahoma. Fifth place, entry number 337, exhibited by Brandon Barr of Xenia, Ohio. In sixth place, entry number 350, exhibited by Beckham Place of Wapakoneta, Ohio.
On our last January heifer calf class, good set from top to bottom. Once again, high quality cattle. Little different creature here to win this first class, or this class here. This dark cherry red one comes at you with some unique features, extra foot size and bone, really dense, that good three-dimensional look. She's got turn everywhere. Turn over her top side of her loin, turn in that middle part of that rib cage, turn in that middle part of that stifle and hip. One that's still got the quality at the ground, still fresh and good enough up through her chest or neck. She does run downhill just ever so slightly, but man, that thing's got some unique features and power to go with a flexible skeleton. Really sharp, maybe a little more of a fresher, crisper type of a female comes in second. I think there's a lot of future in this one, young lady. She's flat-shouldered and good neck, long spine, good hip, built really, really good. I just don't think there's quite as much product in this one here today as our class winner, but still I think the quality is there. Maybe sits back on those pasterns for me just a little bit much, but I don't think it's near a problem, but still a high quality one. On the standstill, I like this one quite well, and she rivals them top two, and she probably could push them just a little bit more. I set her into motion. She comes up just a little shorter off of that back end, gets a little more tight up in that hip, doesn't have quite that drive and go off of that hind leg as those top two. The heifer coming in fourth is one that's got some depth of body. Her depth of body and flexibility gets her over to the sharp heifer that's right in behind her. She's a little plainer about her chest and her head and her neck. She too could use a shot more muscle when you get right in behind her. Really sharp made, good presented one comes in next. She just gets a little tubular in her design. She gets a little restricted when you set her into motion as well compared to that heifer right in front of her. Young man rounding out the class, heifer that's got some shape and turn, and I sure like that about her. She just gets a little bit more unbalanced for me, a little lower about her chest set, a little more awkward when you set her into motion, a little tighter in that lower part of that rib cage. Good set of heifers from top to bottom, really nice pair on the top side of that class.
Third and final call, Class 4A, Charolais. Third and final call, Class 4A. Results of class number 23 of your open shorthorn female show. In first place, entry number 365, Steck WSCC Chelsea, DM 401, exhibited by Carter Wickard of Wilkinson, Indiana. In second place, entry number 362, TRN Maddie Mirage 401, exhibited by Callie Turner of Mahomet, Illinois. In third place, entry number 364, Crystal Rose 401M, exhibited by Bunnell Cattle Company, LLC of Columbus, Indiana. In fourth place, entry number 355, exhibited by Aubrey Short of Moncton, Maryland. Fifth place, entry number 358, exhibited by Benjamin P. Allen of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. Sixth place, entry number 359, exhibited by Shady Brook Farm, Ltd. of West Brome, Quebec, Canada. Results of your National ROE Charolais female show. Your Class 1A results. In first place, entry number 2, Boy H.L. Mary M452, exhibited by Brooke A. Polson of Darwin, Minnesota. In second place, entry number 3, Triple SC Millie 8M, exhibited by Sydney Allard of Sydney, Nebraska. In third place, entry number 1, BHSC Rhinestone Cowgirl 22M, exhibited by Riley Brown of Bunker Hill, West Virginia. Your Class 1B results of your Charolais Spring Heifer calves. In first place, entry number 12, Block Cheryl Miss Pop Style 104, exhibited by John Davis III of Ivy, South Carolina. In second place, entry number 8, Boy AALB Montella 468M, exhibited by Boyer Show Cattle of Sayville, Ohio. In third place, entry number 11, B. Lila 414A, exhibited by Macy Hoag of Illinois City, Illinois. In fourth place, entry number 4, exhibited by Molly Burns of Dover Plains, New York.
Well, folks, wow, we jump into this January, February division. I know we're just in calves. We haven't even got into the falls or these aged ones. And just like that March, April division, man, it's pretty impressive. It goes back again, here's the time, the big old saying, Who's ready now? Who's ready? Who's going to be the one that's going to make the big, awesome bread a year from now? And so that's, that always plays in your mind when you're judging these calves, especially here to North American. That heifer that wins that first class, real quickly, we'll run back through them. Man, that thing's as dense and as square as you can make one at this stage of the game, but yet fresh. She's quality at the ground, square off of both ends. She's plenty chiseled enough. I think that thing's just got some unique parts and pieces, the way that she's assembled, but yet has some real muscle, some real red meat in that one there to go with that extra look when that thing really relaxes. The white red-legged one that comes next, that thing was just really, really complete in that class. She comes back out here in this drive, and she's probably just a shot more impressive to me than she was just in class. Her quality at the ground, her balance and her symmetry and her smoothness. Is she as long and then pulled apart from nose to tail as a couple other heifers? Probably not. And that's probably her one disadvantage out here in this lineup. But her quality and her shape and her dimension still makes her a contender out here. A really fresh, crisp, good-made one that's got a lot of longevity comes out of that third class. I sure like this one. Is she as massively put together as some of the other ones out here? Probably not, but that one just reads a lot of future to me. I like her quality at the ground, her flexibility, and her freshness. Same thing goes for the young lady's heifer right in behind her, one that kind of blows back. I talked in that class there. She's got a lot of shape over her top and her hip, and I like her added foot size and her bone and her extension up through her front end. She, too, balances up extremely nice and is a contender out here. Really, once again, another fresh one that's got some length. She probably, for me, she's not as powerful when you get right in behind her, but man, this thing is so deadly from the side, and when this thing relaxes, she flows and goes about the ring. I love her balance in her lower 1/3, and I'm not saying she's completely devoid. There's at times I get right in behind her, and I'm like, man, if you were just a little bit wolfier here, I could just really, really tie into that one, but I like that one, and she's sure a contender out here. Young man's heifer, good, well-balanced one, maybe not quite as dense through the middle part of her body, super extended, super well-balanced, super fresh. That shows a lot of big upsides. Unique heifer comes out of the last class, a really dense three-dimensional heifer that's got a little extra foot size and bone and mass about her. We talked about she runs downhill just ever so slightly for me, but man, she's got to be one that you got to pay attention to out here, no doubt, just because of her mass and that flexibility that she possesses. Guys, I'm going to give them another good look. Reward these exhibitors with a big round of applause because they deserve bringing this quality of set of cattle to the North American.
First call, Class 4B, Charolais. First call, Class 4B, Charolais.
I think we got a really tight top pair up here, and depending on what people want to do, they might flip-flop these based on some different things. The heifer we're going to go ahead and lead the class off with, I think she does so on her freshness. I like the way that she's made up through that front 1/3. When you start studying both these females track around the ring, I think the one that leads off the class is probably naturally wider at the ground, and I like the way the shape comes out of the top side of her rib. Now, I'll go ahead and give you this heifer that is going to be in the second hole right here. She's kind of a stout-legged type of a deal, kind of the burly-built type of a female that as we progress along, she's probably going to be the female with a lot of muscle working down her top. She just gets a little more jammed up in that front end, a little chubbier in her condition. Female, though, I sure like a lot of things, got a lot of cool pieces about her. I thought the heifer in first just maybe tied them together a little nicer for me today. Young lady's female that comes out here in the third hole. Here's a female. The longer she was out here, the more and more that we liked her. She's a female that I really like the overall design of the heifer. She's a heifer that you like the swoop that she has on that underline. She's a heifer that hits the ground right. She's a female that still lays in nice in her shoulders. She's thin when you look at the top side of her neck. And when you step right behind the female, she's real practical in her rib shape and practical in her muscularity. An awful nice female for on down the road. Young man's female that comes in third. This is one, boy, when she walked in the ring, kind of sparked my interest a little bit. She's the big-footed type of a heifer. She's the stout-made type of a heifer. She's a heifer that you like the extension that she has up through her front end. She's a heifer that's real practical in her size at this age. Maybe a heifer that I might like to see is compared to the heifers in front of her, she just gives up a little bit in terms of rib when you look at those ones that are on up in front of her. Young lady's female coming out next. Here's a female that we really like the body shape that she has. She's a female that has some spring to her rib. She's a female that lays in nice up in that front 1/3. She's a female that just gets a little bit narrow at the ground, a female that when you start steadying her feet, she kind of wants to dance around a little bit out here. Maybe like to see her sit down just with a little more confidence as she tracks around. Young lady brings out kind of the rascally acting female out here. As we gathered her up, here's the long spine type of a female that's out here. Boy, when you start studying the extension that she has up through her neck, you study the extension she has from the point of her shoulder back to her grow bone right there, boy, you really like that about her. She's still adequate when you study her at the center part of her body. A heifer, though, that you might like to see a little bit more flank. And when you step right behind the female, you might like to see a little more shape coming right out of the top side of her rib, but an awfully nice female. Young lady's female coming next. Here's a female that when she sits down, we like the way that her knee sets in. She really tucks that back nice. We like the angles and everything that she has on her. A heifer that just kind of gets outperformed when we start looking at the other ones, as is the young man's heifer next. Young man's heifer here is a muscular made type of a female. Another female we see with that extension, just a female. I'd like to relax her in her spine as she tracks around the ring, make her just a touch more comfortable. Young man's female that we're going to round out here with, here's a big, broody made type of a female. She's going to be easy in her flesh. She's going to be muscular. She wants to get a little bit round in her pin shape, like to see that foot size maybe just a touch bigger, but an awfully nice female to round out the class with.
Third and final call, Class 27 Shorthorn. Your third and final call, Class 27 Shorthorn. This is your second call, Class 28. Second call, Class 28. It's your first call, Class 29 Shorthorn. First call, Class 29. Congratulations, your junior heifer calf champion here in your Shorthorn female show. Goes to entry number 266, CF Mona Lisa Pays 4045, exhibited by Skylar Ward of New Paris, Ohio. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 332, SN Max Rosa Margarita 418, exhibited by McKinley Evans of Petersburg, Texas. Now entering the ring is class number 26 of your winner heifer calves. This is your third and final call in Class 28 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 28 Shorthorn. Second call, Class 29. Second call, Class 29 Shorthorn. This is your second call, Class 4B, Charolais. Second call, Class 4B. Your Class 1C results here in your Open Charolais Female Show. In first place, entry number 14, Block Glow 103M, exhibited by John Davis of Ivy, South Carolina. In second place, entry number 28, Senate Mila 18M, exhibited by Mackenzie Neal of New Lebanon, Ohio. Third place, entry number 17, BRCHE Hot Gossip 4506, exhibited by Macy Hagg of Illinois City, Illinois. Fourth place, entry number 20, Boy AALB Montella 410M, exhibited by Boyer Show Cattle of Seville, Ohio. Fifth place, entry number 18, exhibited by Sydney Allard of Sydney, Nebraska. In sixth place, entry number 25, exhibited by Brindley Antic. In seventh place, entry number 21, exhibited by Devin Snow. And eighth place, entry number 24, Colton Sugg. Ninth place, entry number 16, exhibited by Levi Schultz.
First class here, falls Novembers, late Novembers, just, some heifers that are approaching a year of age, and three high quality ones. The one that's a little fresher and crisper for me is the one that's going to win. The young lady brings us this thing. It's so ultra feminine up through her front end. I like her flexibility. You know, at first when she come in, I was like, man, is she dense enough for me? Once you get on her in relation to her age and her maturity pattern, everything fits. She's got enough depth that matches her chest floor, but she's so elegant the way she's made everywhere else, and she's not anywhere. I mean, I really like the body condition she comes out at us today. So I think that one's awfully good. She's just a little better put together in that shoulder forerib juncture than the young lady heifer that comes in second. The one in second, she too, we could blow her apart just a smidgen more right in that forerib. She's probably just a little wider and more genuine in her muscle and her density, right from her hooks to her pins down in that stifle. But she wants to come apart a little bit more in her shoulders. She's probably not as smooth and quite as elegant as that class winner. Two highly quality heifers that go 1 and 2 that match up extremely well. The bold heifer comes in third. I love her depth of body and her spring, and she's got that advantage here. She wants to get just a little bit plainer at you about her front 1/3. She too wants to come apart in her shoulders. Want to change her up about of her hip structure and the way she handles those hind legs when you set her into motion. Maybe not quite as square and true off of both ends as those two that go 1 and 2. A good set, nice trio of females.
We come out here in our first division, boy, I think real excited to see what keeps on coming through the ring today, because we sure had a lot of quality come through in those first 3 classes. I'm just going to touch briefly. I'm not going to repeat what I just said to you in class a whole lot. When we look at that heifer out front there's kind of the fresh female of the group when we get her out here. She's real practical in that condition at this age. When you start studying her, she's got a lot of the neat pieces, the way she extends, the shape of her body, the way she holds her spine when she tracks around. Awfully nice future on that female. The heifer that come out of that second class, she's a little stouter made than is the 2 on either side of her. She's a heifer that has a lot of muscularity when you get right behind her, has a lot of muscle shape when you view her back in that hip, and still maintains a big sound foot as she tracks around. Heifer that just came out of her last class, I think she combines a lot of things. When you start talking about stoutness and you start talking about the way that she tracks with a lot of natural width at the ground, and combines that in a pretty package. We'll go out here and select your champions real quick. Give these exhibitors a round of applause for this first division.
Another really good class here, November females. Young man's red heifer puts a lot of nice things together. That flexible design, the quality at the ground, freshness of condition at this stage of the game, her body depth. Once again, you get in behind her, she's got enough as far as width and muscle expression down low to go with all that extras. Just a high quality one to win. The white heifer that comes in next is more like our class winner in type and kind as far as depth of body and in spring and natural softness, and she too has the quality at the ground. She's just not as bold over her top and up out of her hip, not quite as extended as the heifer that's right in front of her, but still a high quality female. Yeah, heifer rounding out the class is one that's got some good linear design. She just comes at us with not quite as much mass and lower 1/3 as those heifers right in front of her, but a good set, good complete heifer to win that class.
This is your third call, Class 29 Shorthorn. Third call, Class 29 Shorthorn. This is your first call, Class 32 and 33. First call, Class 32 and 33 Shorthorn. Your Class 26 Shorthorn results in first place entry number 372, CF Max Rosa 3138, exhibited by Samantha Van Voorhees of Bowling Green, Ohio. In second place, entry number 376, CF Max Rosa 3135, exhibited by Josie Beiser of Camden, Ohio. Third place, entry number 379, Picture Perfect 319, exhibited by Adeline Vaughn of Maxwell, Iowa. Your Class 27 results in first place, entry number 377, CF Mona Lisa 3134, exhibited by Maddox Reedy of Lovington, Illinois. In second place, entry number 383, IF Darlene 130, exhibited by Mallory Inskeep of Lafayette, Indiana. Third place, entry number 381, CC Suki St. James, exhibited by Lily Terrell of Paris, Kentucky. Second call, Class 32 and 33 Shorthorn. Second call, Class 32 and 33 Shorthorn. This is your third and final call, Class 4B. Third and final call, Class 4B as in Buckeye, Charolais females to the makeup arena.
No doubt, a high-quality class here from top to bottom, and I mean that from our class winner all the way down to our last place. I mean, there's good females here. Just a little bit variance in type and kind within this particular class. Probably for me, the combination one of soundness, natural softness, and just putting everything together as far as density and shape to that middle part of that rib cage and freshness is a young lady's heifer that's going to win. And that's where she really excels. She's so good at the ground. That base of that foot and that bone, she's so soft there, so soft in the way that she's built. You know, is she as razor sharp as a couple other heifers out here? Maybe not, but man, I just love the way this one's put together and then comes at you in that very flexible skeleton design, but yet still has that dimension through the middle part of her body, has still some shape over her top, still maintains some shape in her hip. and I think she's the one you got to tie into. The sharper angled one comes in second, and like this one here, I love the sharpness up to her front end or over her top. She's very fresh, she's very crisp. And I like that about her. She gets just a little bit more restricted in that shoulder to knee than our class winner. Maybe not as genuinely comfortable the way she handles that hind leg as our class winner. Not to say this one doesn't get out and motor really good. She just doesn't do it to the degree that our class winner does. She's wide up high. There's still a lot of future in that one. Heifer coming next, she too is one that just motors at the ground. A little lower center of gravity type of a female. She gets a little shorter in her cannon, maybe a little shorter coupled the way that she's put together. But man, this thing's got the quality. So square and good over her top and her hip and her body. I would like to just freshen her up. She gets a little coarser about her head in relation to her body to me than the other heifers on either side of her. So that's what I'd like to change about her just from a maturity standpoint. But man, the quality's there. As far as mass, I just wish she was a little more extended to get her around into that top 1 or 2 spot. Heifer coming in next is I sure like this one, young lady. I think this one's square, and when you get her pulled together, she gives you an awfully good look from the side. Flat shoulder, good chest, a good neck. She just flattens out a little bit more for me, gets just a shot more one-dimensional compared to those heifers right up at the top side of this class. But I think that one's she's still in the right rig for this stage of the game for a fall. That one's still got some big upside to her. Good set all the way through in those top 4. This one here still, too, is really, really good. Young lady, you've got one that's presented at a high level. Probably for me, her body mass doesn't match her extension up through her front end and her length of body and her length of hip. And once she starts to mature and get some body mass to go with that, today she just looks a little bit harder right through the center part of her body. That's a high quality one. Another high quality one rounds out. Good over top and her hip. She doesn't have quite the extension and look, and it's overall just balanced to get around those ones right in front of her today. That's still an awfully good female. Compliments of those exhibitors on bringing us such a good class from top to bottom. A really good one, good complete one to win that class.
Back over here on the Charolais side, sure, a good practical set of cattle that came to us. The heifer that we landed on to start off the class, I think, is the combination heifer, and she wins based on structural soundness and design. She's the female. When you view her from the side, we like the way that she is up through that front 1/3. We really like the way that she lays into her shoulder. When she moves around the ring, she's ultra flexible at the ground. She's a female that when you view her from the side, you love her back through that flank. Not the most powerful female in here, but sure a flexible, very nice balanced, very well designed type of a heifer. Heifer that comes in second, she's probably the stouter made type of a female that steps down with a lot more substance of bone. Female, we really love the way that she is up through that front 1/3, the way she ties into her chest. Heifer, I'd like to relax her down in her spine as she tracks around the ring, and that can happen as one kind of gets calmed down and shown a little bit more comfortable there, but an awfully nice heifer to land in the second hole. Young man's heifer that comes out here in third, probably the more practically sized type of a female. Here's a female. When you step right in behind this female, boy, you love the muscularity that she shows. She's ultra big through her hip. She's really wide down that top side. When she tracks around the ring, she does so elegantly. She's a heifer that we might like to change the way she hooks in the top thigh of that shoulder, tuck her into that chest, clean her that throat. Awful good third place female. Young man's heifer that comes out here in the next spot. Here's a heifer that, boy, when you talk about a way one hooks up into its top side where they're way high in it, this one is it. She likes to present herself. She tracks around the ring. Really nice up there. A heifer we'd like to just see have a little more substance about her to place any higher. Young lady's heifer that comes out here next. Here's a long spine type of a female that moves around the ring, plenty comfortable. Heifer we'd like Mike to change the shape of that shoulder, the angularity up through there to place on up. The next yellow heifer that comes out here. Here's a heifer that's very sound. She's very comfortable and very flexible as she moves around the ring. Heifer that might like to see have a little more center body to move on up. Young man's heifer that we're going to round off the class with. She has an advantage over that heifer in front of her when you talk about natural shape to her rib. She's a heifer that she lays in neat enough in her shoulder. Just a heifer that we'd like to see straightened up and pulled up in those pins, stoutened up on those legs to move on up in the class.
Congratulations, your spring calf champion of female in your Charolais show goes to entry number 14, Block Glow 103M, exhibited by John Davis III of Ivy, South Carolina. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 2, Boy HL Mary M452, exhibited by Brooke Polson of Darwin, Minnesota. This is your second call, Class 7 and 8 Charolais. Second call, Class 7 and 8 Charolais. This is your first call, Class 12 Charolais. First call, Class 12. Third and final call, Class 32 and 33 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 32 and 33 Shorthorn. This is your first call, Class 34. First call, Class 34 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 7 and 8 Charolais. Third and final call, Class 7 and 8 Charolais. This is your second call, Class number 12 Charolais. Second call, Class 12.
Well, folks, here you go. Another good class of falls. I sure like these two that go 1 and 2. The one that wins, you talk about being fresh and sound and built good. And, you know, once again, I talked about that skeleton design, you know, from when we started that first class of bulls. And with this one here, it's hard to pick a hole in that skeleton. She's good over her top. Everything hooks up extremely nice, flexible joints. And then you combine that balance that she puts on there, chest floor, lower 1/3. She's got some width when you get in behind her. She's not quite as dense as the heifer right behind her, but she's got plenty. And to come at us in a fresh, modern, good package right here, that thing puts a lot of nice things together. Well, this one here in second, she's right there with her. She's carrying just a shot more condition than that one that's right in front of her. But man, you talk about one that can flat motor, and I know this girl wants this heifer to slow down just a little bit, gear down. This thing is smooth. She's well balanced. She's good at the ground. She's good over her top line. She's got a little more extra spread when you get in behind her. I think that one's awfully, awfully good. She's just not as crisp up through her front end. She's just maybe not quite as comfortable. The way that shoulder neck comes up out as our class winner, but man, that thing's awfully good. On the standstill, the white heifer rivals her top 2. But young man, when we set her to motion, she gets a little more restricted in that hock and in that upper hip structure. She's not quite as comfortable at the ground. She's presented at a high level, and man, on a standstill, she gives you an awfully, awfully good look. Got a lot of mass and density. We just need her to get her go a little bit more. A lot of product in the young man's heifer coming in next. She gets a little straighter in that shoulder and that knee for me. I'd like to tone her down just a little bit there and rock that shoulder back into her. But man, you talk about some real world product in that cow. She sure has it. Young lady heifer coming in next. She's done a nice job. Heifer just gets a little restricted when you set her into motion. She gets a little tighter off of both ends. She gets her pulled together extremely nice and gives you a good look from the side. We just want to change her there. Heifer rounding out the class. Good design female, good in her lines. For me, she just gives up too much body mass and density from her forerib back into that rear flank to get her just any higher. She gets a little harder and flatter right there, but still a high quality female. Good set, really good pair on the top side of that class.
Your Class 28 results of your Shorthorn show. In first place, entry number 390, Saul Cherrymaker 3668L, exhibited by Schrag Nickel Show Cattle of Marion, South Dakota. In second place, entry number 393, Proud Fool FL98L, exhibited by Miley Cover of Bowling Green, Missouri. In third place, entry number 389, Creeks Eve, exhibited by Emma Helsinger of West Manchester, Ohio. Fourth place, entry number 385, Michaela Sugg of Alden, New York. Fifth place, entry number 387, exhibited by Finley Jones of Aledo, Texas. Sixth place, entry number 391, exhibited by Addison Ward of Oak Grove, Missouri.
Boy, here's a class. You talk about two differing types. And we went back and forth and maybe disagreed a little bit here and there. The one I elected to start with is the one I feel most comfortable with when we start talking about equality of an animal. I love the design of this female. I love the way that she hooks up. I like the way she's built in the top side of that shoulder much better. I like the way she's made through that front 1/3. When I view her from the side, she's so relaxed and comfortable in her spine as she tracks around. She's flexible at the ground. Heifer, you might question, is there enough of her? Is she wide enough when you get behind her? I think so, and I feel comfortable bringing her to the front. Heifer that's in second. Boy, here's a stout maid type of a female. When you get behind them, she's the muscular female. She's got a lot of shape back through that hip. She's got a lot of shape of rib coming out of the top side of her spine. Heifer, I'd like to neaten up in the top side of her shoulder. Heifer, I'd like to clean up a touch in her chest. Moreover, though, I'd like to make that heifer more comfortable. She tracks around the ring. She wants to get up in the top side of her spine. I'd like to see her relax down a little bit more to move on up.
Third call, Class 32 and 33, Shorthorns. Third and final call, Class 32 and 33, Shorthorn. This is your first call, Class 34 and 37. First call, Class 34 and 37.
Well, once again, we're not messing around over here in this Shorthorn ring. Boy, this fall division just kind of cranked it up. And, you know, we had those two domineering calf divisions, but, man, this fall division I think is pretty spectacular in these heifers that go 1 and 2 in these respective classes. At November, that wins that first class, so fresh, so sound, so built, so good. You know, we talked about maybe just a little bit immature in her body shape and in her dimension and as far as her muscle pattern, and that's okay right now. I mean, that heifer's built for the long haul, and I can sure step back here and see that one come July to June in a junior nationals, looking awfully good with the calf inside of her in that early November senior yearling division. Is she as powerful as a couple other ones out here today? Probably not, but is she the right kind? Yes, she is. Heifer comes out of the next class, one that, you know, I probably for me, and I'll just say it, the longer I look at this female, the more I just like her. Is she really exquisite in any one area? No, but she's quality at the ground. She's balanced real good. She puts a lot of nice things together. You know, maybe doesn't have that unique chest and neck and just explosive upper square hip as a couple other ones, but man, I think that one's awfully good and sure a contender out here. Soft at the ground, this next one, so genuine in the way she gets out of the ring and her flexibility. A little more moderate female, got a softness through the center part of her body. She puts it together, still in an elegant package to go with that. You know, is she as domineering in her hip structure as a couple other heifers? Maybe not. We could change her there just ever so slightly. But, man, just one that's so flexible and so soft and just genuine in the way that she's built. The one that comes out of the last class, man, you talk about for a September female that's just fresh. Good built, got enough mass and density. And once again, we talk about the design of these cattle. Everything just fits. Chest floor, lower 1/3 rear flank attachment. Get behind her. She's got enough width and dimension to spread and up over her top. You know, once again, just like the heifer that runs out in November. I mean, you talk about cattle that are built to really look good come this summer for a junior national with a good calf inside of them. That one sure can do it, and that's that's the way I always look at these falls. I mean, I have a lot of falls, or always have for all the years I've been doing this, and so that's what always looks at me when you look at these falls. Who's going to put it all together with a little less hair this summer, and so. That's just a little extra twist that I put on these fall divisions. Excellent set of cattle. I'll give them another good look and pick you a pair of champions. Let's reward these exhibitors on an awesome set of fall females they brought us here today.
Second call, Class 34 and 37, Shorthorn. Second call, Class 34 and 37. This is your third and final call, Class 12, Charolais. Third and final call, Class 12, Charolais. First call, Class 15. First call, Class 15, Charolais.
Second division here, a little bit smaller on numbers, but boy, I think it was a high-quality division. Again, we just kind of talked through these, but I'll touch on them real quick. I think the heifer out of that first division, I thought that class was both these classes were kind of difficult classes, but I think the heifer out of that first division, she kind of won that class based on design, based on balance, as we start looking at the heifer that won that second class. There's another one we really like the design, the balance of. Those second placers, both a little bit stouter. Both animals have probably a little bit more muscle about them, and I think it gets relatively close when we start studying for that reserve. We're going to go ahead and use the heifer out of that first class there to win the division. We're going to follow her up with a heifer that was second in that division.
Congratulations to your champion senior heifer calf here at your Shorthorn Show. Goes to entry number 405, CF Rosebud 3120, exhibited by Carter Meyer of Needville, Texas. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 390, Sol Cherrymaker 3668, exhibited by Schrag Nickel Show Cattle of Marion, South Dakota. This is your third and final call, Class 34 and 37 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 34 and 37 Shorthorn. Results of Class 4A of your Charolais show in first place, entry number 48, BJF Susie 4029M, exhibited by Avery Coles of Hutchinson, Minnesota. In second place, entry number 32, Boy CK Mary 455M, exhibited by Boyer Show Cattle of Seville, Ohio. In third place, entry number 31, Cars Miss Smoke Show 403P, exhibited by Knox Harvey of Lamar, Missouri. Fourth place, entry number 42, exhibited by John Chandler of Belton, South Carolina. Fifth place, entry number 45, exhibited by Guinevere Bowman of North Salem, Indiana. Sixth place, entry number 46, exhibited by Sage Revels. Seventh place, entry number 44, exhibited by Nathan Alexander. Your Class 4B results. In first place, entry number 34, Boy H.L. Maggie M420, exhibited by Brooke Polson of Darwin, Minnesota. In second place, entry number 49, LJR Miss Madison 3826M, exhibited by Trace Falkenstein of Oswego, Kansas. Your junior calf champion Charolais female goes to entry number 48, BJF Susie 4029M, exhibited by Avery F. Coles of Hutchinson, Minnesota. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 32, Boy CK Mary 455M, exhibited by Boyer Show Cattle of Seville, Ohio. Attention to the barns. This is your second call, Class 15 Charolais females. Second call, Class 15 Charolais females. This is your first call, Class 38 Shorthorn. First call, Class 38 Shorthorn.
Well, folks, the heat just keeps coming, and we jump into this first class, early summers, and boy, what a pair of heifers here on the top end of this class. Boy, this white one, you talk about density. Here we go. Big over her top, big over that hip. She's wide, bold through the center part of her body, but she carries it well. Foot size and bone. And, you know, she's, at first, my first glance, I was going to just be maybe a little hard on her from a body condition standpoint, but I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable. I don't think she needs any more, because I think that's just her. That's just the way that she's built. And I think sometimes we look at these cattle that are really easy doing and really stout, and they put on just a little bit, but that heifer's genuinely stout. She's got width, she's got muscle. She's not quite as fresh as this one right behind her, but I think that's just the heifer. That's just her kind. And she does that and keeps it together in a very flexible, pliable skeletal package. And so to me, that mass and that density, she's got, I'll overcome, you know, what you're going to call as far as maybe, hey, this one's probably pushing the limit as far as body condition. I don't think so. I think that one puts it all together really, really, really nice. But I do really like this red one that comes in second. She is fresh, she is crisp, and you know what's deceiving about her is when from the side you're like, well, maybe she's not as stout as, you know, obviously as that one in front, but she's got some width, she has some power. She's just not quite as blown apart over her loin edges quite as well as that one that's right in front of her. She too has got quality at the ground. It's very, very well balanced. It's two high quality females. Heifer that's right there with him is this one here in third. She just gives up too much in her lower 1/3 to get around her because she's wide over her top. She's got an explosive hip, an awesome hind leg, and still really good about her front 1/3. I just don't, she just doesn't have the rib cage design as those top two females. Next heifer is long spine female. She gets a little straighter in that shoulder. You want to change her in the way she gets around the ring, but still gives you a good look on the standstill. Young man rounding out the class. Good conventional female. It's got some very moderate, but yet very easy doing type of a female. Just maybe doesn't have quite the extra look and balance to get her any higher. Good set, really intriguing pair on the top side of that class.
Back over here on the Charolais side, boy, I thought just a real easy spot to land at the top of the class. Here's a highly presented heifer that's real good looking when you step back off of her. She's a heifer that lays in real nice up through that front 1/3. She's a heifer that when you study the symmetry in her underline, she's very balanced from her forerib back to her flank, steps down on a big enough foot. Just an awfully nice place to start the class with. I thought the decision lied between second and third. The second place heifer might be just a little bit overcooked for me, but a heifer at the same time. When you talk about natural rib shape, natural pin width, she's a heifer that I really like there. Especially I like the way that she tracks out of that front shoulder as compared to our heifer in third. Sure, this heifer in third's the fresher made type of female of the pair, but a heifer that wants to get a little bit laboring off that front end as we watched her track around the ring. A heifer I might like to raise up in that pin set just a touch, but it kind of really was close in vying for that second hole. Young lady's yellow heifer that comes out here next. Here's a heifer when you study her from the side. She's big-bodied. She's get behind her. She's plenty muscular. A heifer that we might like to balance up a little bit, need her to move on up in the class. Young man's heifer that's going to wind up the class for us today. Here's a stout-made type of a heifer, a moderate frame type of a heifer that you really got to appreciate the size of foot that she steps down on. A heifer I might like to change the way that she's made in the top side of that shoulder, neaten her on up right there, maybe drop her in that flank just a touch to place any higher.
This is your third and final call, Class 15 Charolais. Third and final call, Class 15 Charolais. This is your second call, Class 38 Shorthorn. Second call, Class 38 Shorthorn. Your Class 32 results of your open Shorthorn female show. In first place, entry number 417, MFS Tootsie 55L, exhibited by Madeline Berg of Osage, Iowa. In second place, entry number 414, GCC Dream Only 71, exhibited by Alexa Turner of Mahomet, Illinois. In third place, entry number 415, Maxa Rosa LK 71L, exhibited by Sarah Moore of Jerseyville, Illinois. In fourth place, entry number 413, exhibited by Maple Grove Farm of Fish Creek, Wisconsin. In fifth place, entry number 412, exhibited by Amelia Clemens of Chestnut, Illinois. Now exhibiting in the Shorthorn ring is class number 33 of your late spring yearling females. This is your third and final call, class 38. Third and final call, class 38 Shorthorn. This is your first call, class 16 Charolais. First call, class 16 Charolais. Results of class number 7 of your Charolais Open Show. In first place, entry number 54, GRNR Miss Poppy 1M, exhibited by Garner Show Cattle of Hamilton, Ohio. Second place, entry number 57, TKB Rosie 983A, exhibited by LCR Birch of Flanagan, Illinois. In third place, entry number 59, Bruins GG D113, exhibited by Taylor Moore of Nancy, Kentucky. Fourth place, entry number 56, exhibited by Kinsley L. Harris of Hepler, Kansas. Fifth place, entry number 109, exhibited by Isaac Clay Montgomery of Lancaster, Kentucky. Now exhibiting the Charolais ring is class number 8 of your senior heifer calves. This is your second call, class number 16. Second call, class 16 Charolais.
We jump into this June class here in our purebred shorthorn shad. Real good set from top to bottom again. And to me, all four of these females all full of some high quality. One that puts it all together in the flexible maternal package is our young man's heifer that leads off, bold through the center part of her body, got enough spread over her top and her hip. Her quality's there at the ground, flexibility, love her joints, love her feet and legs, still good about her head. She's a little more genuine the way that neck comes out of the top side of those blades compared to the one that, or the two heifers right in behind her. Love the power and the density and the flexibility of that one. A little closer between 2 and 3, but the heifer that's put together probably just a little bit better than that shoulder forward juncture is the one that goes in second. She's good over her top line. She's a little shorter neck, maybe not quite as up-headed as that one that wins, maybe not quite as bold in that lower 1/3. Heifer that's coming in third is one that's a big-footed, big-bone type of female, got some big features about her. I just don't like how, I wish she could just drive off of those hind legs just a little better. She wants to drag them around just a little bit, gets a little more open at the top side of those blades, it gets a little harder right in behind that shoulder and that fore-rib juncture, but still a high-quality female that offers a lot of good parts. Young lady, set for rounding out, square, good made one young lady. She just gives up a little too much internal dimension to those ones right in front of her, but she's got the quality at the ground, like her silhouette. You've done a great job. Just doesn't have quite the internal dimension to get around those top 3 females. Good set, really good, complete heifer to win that class.
Boy, we sure got an easy place to start the class off over here on the Charolais side. You want to talk about quality and design? This one's it. She hooks up so high in the top side of that shoulder, remains knee down through her chest. When you study her front leg, her knee lays in back. Really like the design to that leg. Just a really, really good place to start the class off with. Not to take away from this heifer that's coming out in second. Here's a bold rib, wide pin type of a heifer. I really appreciate that about the heifer. When you watch her track around the ring, she does so with ease. A heifer that just probably gives up a little bit of the extras when we talk about that front 1/3 as compared to that heifer that's right in front of her. I think it gets a little closer here between our third and fourth heifer. A gentleman's heifer coming out next. I think this is just good, practical livestock. When we study the muscularity that this animal has, she has it down her top. You get behind her, she's really big hipped, really ties that down in there. She has a good rib shape out of the top side of her rib. A heifer that probably gives up a little bit when you start studying that front 1/3. When you start studying her, the width that she has on the top side of the shoulder, I'd like to lay that in a little nicer. Good type of livestock to land in third. The young lady's heifer that comes out next, she's probably a longer spine, a little higher performing type of a female. A female, when you got behind her, as compared to the heifer right in front of her, she didn't have quite the width of muscularity in her top or out of her hip, as did the gentleman's coming out in third. Next heifer that's coming around here. Here's the Cowie made one when we start looking out through here. She's one that you can see out in the pasture. She's going to be an easy keeper. She's going to be one that maintains her muscularity. She's going to maintain her body shape. A heifer that just doesn't have quite right behind her forerib as compared to the heifer in front. A heifer that we'd like to maybe stouten her up just a touch in her hock. The next heifer that comes out here next, a heifer that I think probably gets to this place as does through design. She's a heifer that I like her front shoulder quite a bit better. A heifer that I like the way her knee sets quite a bit better. A heifer that I might like to see strengthen up just a touch in those pasterns, but a nice heifer to land there. The heifer that we're going to wind up the class with, here's probably a little bit more muscular type of a heifer. A heifer, though, when she tracks around the ring, she wants to get upright in her shoulder, wants to get round in her hip. A heifer that you probably appreciate more when you get behind her and talk about pin width. An awful stout, nice made type of a heifer to wind up with here. really nice division when we start talking quality that came out here for us. It's a division. It didn't take very long. Just had a couple classes here. I just talked those. I'm not going to retalk the females. The heifer I'm going to choose to win the division is going to come out of the second class. I think she's kind of the quality one and wins the division. We start looking for our reserve division. I think it gets a little bit closer because you got two differing types right here. You got kind of a little rounder rib, stouter made type of a female coming out of that second hole from that last class. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep with the first class winner here. She kind of follows our class or division winner a little more closely.
This is your third and final call, Class 16 Charolais. Third and final call, Class 16. Your Class 8 results of your Charolais show: in first place, entry number 65, R.S. Miss Mora, 3322, exhibited by Claire Norris of Eudora, Kansas. Second place goes to entry number 60, Schaefer's Candace, 323L, exhibited by Lizzie Schaefer of Owanaco, Illinois. In third place, entry number 67, DNK Bella, D905, exhibited by Charles and Tony Druin of Eminence, Kentucky. In sixth place, entry number 62, exhibited by Sage Rebels of Webster, Florida.
Man, what a trio of females, no doubt. And I apologize for taking time. I mean, we're getting awfully late in the day, but man, these cattle, these exhibitors, they deserve it. So I mean, I've got to sit here and rack my brain, you know, where we're going to land, what are you going to justify doing and lining them up? Because honestly, no doubt, the heifer that's first, she's either in this trio of females, she's either got to win or she's got to be third. And so, you know, I've done this a long time, and you know, this is a unique featured female. She's so wide and just robust over her top and her hip. She comes at you with some unique features, but still puts it together in a very flexible, manageable skeleton design. And so to me, I want it to be hard on her, but man, I think this thing, she still gets out and goes extremely nice, but she's so dense and over her top and her hip and her mass and her power, and still puts it together in such a unique square package. Yeah, I know she probably doesn't lay in the top side of that blades quite as good as these next two, but those next two aren't as blown apart over her top, not blown apart through as much through her center part of her mass. You know, this thing, you talk about just dense, square, still flexible, and still maintains all that mass that she has and still puts it together in a nice string. She's just one. She's just too unique for me to put in that third spot. That's why I chose her to win this awesome trio. Another hard decision is 2 and 3. And the white heifer, I'm going to be honest, at first, she didn't blow me away as much as the first two. But the more I studied more, the more this girl just worked it. This heifer probably rivals the class winner as far as density, depth of the top side of her spine to her forerib. She's extremely massive in the way she's built, and still very up-headed. All three of these females are so good at the ground, and this heifer will get out and roll with the best of them. I just wish she probably had a little more flair in that lower stifle. I think she flattens out a little bit more there, and I think she gives up just a little bit of length of hip and an extension to this one that ends up being third. The one here in third, she's so sound and still flexible and pliable. She's got some extension. She's got some length of hip. I think in comparison, not that she does not have enough, because she does, but just in relation to those two in front of her, she does just give up a little bit more mass through the center part of her body compared to those two right in front of her. But man, hard decision today. Three awesome females. Heifer coming in next is another really good one. Good body, good weight, good silhouette, athletic. She just doesn't have the extras as far as front end and muscle mass and dimension as those top ones. Young lady coming out has the mass and dimension. She just doesn't have the flexible skeleton. Young lady rounding out the class is once again one just comes at us with some product, just a little coarser in the way she's built. Good set, awesome trio of females on the top side of that class.
First call, Class 19, Charolais. First call, Class 19, Charolais. This is your first call for Shorthorn Open Show, Class number 39. First call, Class 39, Shorthorn.
And our Mayborn class over here, the heifer that we elected to start with, does so based on comfortableness that she has as she tracks around the ring. She's the heifer that lands at the ground much more comfortably. She's a heifer that handles her spine, tracks around much more relaxed as we see her track around the ring. She's the big-footed type of a female. When you start studying them, you get right up on top of them. Heifer, her knee lays back in just a touch nicer than does the heifer in second. The heifer in second, there's a heifer that's probably a little more feminine. When you start studying the top side of her neck, she's a heifer that has more natural rib shape coming out of her spine. Just a heifer I'd like to see handle that spine a little bit more relaxed as she tracks around, be a little more comfortable. She tracks around the ring for us today.
Corrected results from class number 8 of your Charolais Female Open Show. In first place, entry number 65, RF Miss Mora, 3322, exhibited by Claire Norris of Eudora, Kansas. Second place, entry number 60, Schaefer's Candace, 323L, exhibited by Lizzie Schaefer of Awanaco, Illinois. Third place, entry number 67, DNK Bella, D905, exhibited by Charles and Tony Druin of Eminence, Kentucky. In fourth place, entry number 63, exhibited by Sarah E. Barron of Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Fifth place, entry number 66, exhibited by Macy Howick of Illinois City, Illinois. In sixth place, entry number 62, exhibited by Sage Rebels.
Once again, we turn the heat up here in this intermediate division. White Heifer wins that summer deal. We talked about density, big top, big hip, bold centered, still flexible and pliable at the ground. You know, we made a few comments about her body condition. I said, I'm not going to jump back into that again. I think she's plenty fine because that's just, she's soft. She is unique featured, through her chest and her head and her neck. I think it's plenty good because it just matches and balances up well with her. Heifer comes out of that June class, very fresh, good body, good built, square wide hip. Heifer that's still good up through her chest and her head and her neck. I think that's still an ultra high quality female that's sure in contention out here. We come out of that last class trio of females there that were awfully stout and awfully good and run into a really, really hard decision in my mind. The unique featured one ended up coming out on top for me here today, and it's hard for me to step back from that class. Young man's going to be our champion in this division.
Congratulations, your senior calf Charolais champion female goes to entry number 65, RF Miss Mora, 3322, exhibited by Claire Norris of Eudora, Kansas. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 54, GRNR Miss Poppy, 1M, exhibited by Garner Show Cattle of Hamilton, Ohio. Your Class 12 results. In first place, entry number 75, B. Ophelia, 343A, exhibited by Reed Naughton of Atlanta, Illinois. In second place, first place in class number 12 is entry number 73, APL Bewley Opal 318, exhibited by Gracie J. Schultz of Flag Pond, Tennessee. Second place to entry number 75, B. Ophelia 343A, exhibited by Reed Naughton of Atlanta, Georgia. Second call, Class 19, Charolais. Second call, Class 19, Charolais. Second call, Class 39, Shorthorn. Second call, Class 39, Shorthorn. Your Class 33 results of your Shorthorn Open Show. In first place, entry number 436, Dry Rose 23, exhibited by Winston Dreyer of Tulare, Texas. In second place, entry number 421, CSF Margie 723, exhibited by Aubrey Wakeham of Clinton, Maine. In third place, entry number 418, Sweet Nightly Dreams 3673, exhibited by Caroline Jordan of Washington Island, Wisconsin. In fourth place, entry number 419, exhibited by Colby 6. Your Class 34 results. In first place, entry number 427, GCC Red Diva the Roo 33, exhibited by Colton Greenhorn of Bellbrook, Ohio. In second place, entry number 432, RFL Lucky Charm 2L, exhibited by Reagan Ray Ferris of Whiteland, Indiana. In third place, entry number 429, SN Lucky's Locket 3120, exhibited by Caitlin Berg of Osage, Iowa. In fourth place, entry number 434, exhibited by Lane Blankenship of Orlando, Oklahoma. Fifth place, entry number 433, exhibited by Paisley Dreyer of Tulare, Texas. Sixth place, entry number 435, exhibited by Reese 6. Congratulations, your intermediate champion Shorthorn female goes to entry number 427, GCC Red Diva the Roo 33, exhibited by Colton Greenhorn of Bellbrook, Ohio. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 432, RFL Lucky Charm 2L, exhibited by Reagan Ray Ferris of Whiteland, Indiana. This is your third and final call, Class 39 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 39 Shorthorn. This is your third call, Class 19 Charolais. Third call, Class 19 Charolais. This is your first call, Class 20. First call, Class 20 Charolais. This is your first call, Class 42 Shorthorn. First call, Class 42 Shorthorn.
Once again, we jump into this first class A. April's pretty domineering here on this top pair of females here. A little bit of variance in these top two. The one that's going to win is just a little fresher, neater about her chest and her head and her neck. Maybe might give up just a little bit of density right through the middle part of that hip of that one that's in second. But what we gain is a little more length of spine and a little more length of hip and maybe just a little bit more true natural reach off of that back end to go with that fresh, good-looking, attractive female to win this class. The one that's really dense over her top in the middle part of her body and her hips, the one that comes in second, she's she's got plenty as far as her chest. I'm not saying she's too far there. She still balances up so good in her lower 1/3. She just gets a little shorter hip and a little shorter neck compared to that one that wins, and maybe just a smidgen. I'm talking just a smidgen, a little more rigid way she handles those hind legs compared to that class winner. That's an awesome pair of females to go 1 and 2. Heifer coming in next is right there with them. My young lady, she just gets a little flatter in her rib cage, a little flatter in her muscle pattern compared to those ones that are right in front of her, but she's got the balance, she's got the skeletal design that we sure like, just doesn't have quite the three-dimensional look. Long body, long hip female comes in next. She just gets a little more tapered into that rib cage that goes right back into her body cavity, a little too hard and fast. Doesn't have quite the flare in that lower 1/3, but still has the good look from the side. Another high-quality one rounding out the class. She, too, gets a little more terminal in the lower 1/3 of her body cavity compared to those ones right in front of her. Good set of females, good pair of females on the top side of that class.
Second call, Class 20 Charolais. Second call, Class 20 Charolais. This is your second call, Class 42 Shorthorn. Second call, Class 42 Shorthorn.
Big class, and the quality really runs deep in this class. I feel real comfortable the place that we landed on to lead off the class. Here's a heifer that ties a lot of good things together. I really love the extension the heifer has. She maintains a feminine package. When you get behind her, you'll love the shape to the rib. She's adequate in her muscle. She tracks around very comfortably, just an awfully nice place to start with. The young lady's heifer in second does so do on power. She's an easy moving type of a heifer. She's good in her shoulder, but when you get right behind the heifer, she's huge in her pins, she's huge in her top, ultra muscular in a moderate package. It maintains femininity, a nice place to be second. Young lady, heifer that's in the third place, that's a heifer I really like, and she's got a lot of practicality about her. Heifer we like the way that she lays into her shoulder, a heifer we like the extension of, a heifer that when we get behind her, she's probably muscular enough, she just gives up in that pin width as compared to our first two in that class. Young man's heifer that comes out here, here's a heifer that really struck me as she come in the ring. She's a very nicely presented type of a female. It's got a lot of quality about her. I might like to change the way that she tracks out of that shoulder as she moves around the ring to move up higher. The heifer that comes in next, here's a big-bodied, broody-made type of a female that we like the extension that she has. She's adequate there. She's adequate in the way that she holds her spine and in relation to her underline. Real nice heifer. Just gives up a little bit when we step behind the female. The heifer that comes out next here, she's probably got a little more muscularity. She's probably got a little more rib shape than does the heifer in front of her. A heifer that wants to get a little round out of both ends the longer that you study her. Young lady's heifer that comes out next. Here's a long-bodied, long spine type of a female, a heifer that has plenty of foot to her, a heifer that I'd like to see track out a little bit better off both ends to place up any higher. Here's a really fresh type of a female that comes out next. She's really fresh in her condition. She's right in her condition. She's a heifer that lays in really neat in her shoulder. She has a lot of extension up through her front. I might like to change the way she is out of that hip just a touch. A real similar type of a heifer that follows that heifer right there. A heifer that's got some muscularity. Again, a heifer I might like to change in that pin set, raise it up just a little bit and make her track around. Young lady's heifer that we're going to wind up with here, here's just a functional, easy-keeping type of a heifer that's going to be real practical as a cow as we move on down the road, a heifer that I might like to change up in her balance. She wants to get a little bit big in that front end in relation to that rear end when we study her from the side. Real deep, real nice set of heifers to talk right through there.
Third call, Class 20 Charolais females. Third call, Class 20 Charolais females. Results of class number 15 of your Charolais females. In first place, entry number 85, BSSC Sherry Baby 3101L, exhibited by Braylon Schaefer of Hagerstown, Indiana. In second place, entry number 79, LJR Miss Legacy 356L, exhibited by Alyssa Meyer of Clinton, Tennessee. In third place, entry number 80, Boy HL Lola 314L, exhibited by Carter Hogue of Good Hope, Illinois. In fourth place, entry number 82, TR Miss Outsider 3765L, exhibited by Jackson Corner of Caledonia, Ontario. In fifth place, entry number 88, exhibited by Carly Berkheimer of Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. Sixth place, entry number 84, exhibited by Shelby Pearl. In seventh place, entry number 89, Guinevere Bowman. Eighth place, entry number 81, Sophie Slusser. In ninth place, entry number 71, Austin Alexander. In 10th place, entry number 86, MJ Flowers.
Here's a really high quality single entry that come into us very presented here today. A heifer, when you study her from the side, you like the design of her, you like the build of her, you like the way those legs sit, you like the way that her knee tucks back into her leg, you like when you study that back leg, you love the shape to it. When you step behind the heifer, she's got plenty of rib shape, she's got plenty of muscularity. A heifer that you might like to tuck in just a touch right in the point of her shoulders, tighten up there, but a really good one to be a single entry out here.
Your Class 16 results. In first place goes to entry number 95, SVY Elsa 345L, exhibited by Cheyenne Bennett of Winchester, Indiana. Now entering the Charolais ring is a selection of your spring champion female. This is your first call, Class 24, Charolais. First call, Class 24. Third call, Class 42, Shorthorn. Third call, Class 42, Shorthorn. Your results of class number 37 of your Shorthorn Early Spring Yearling females. In first place, entry number 444, CF Traveling Ruby 394, exhibited by Reed Haynes of Greenville, Ohio. In second place, entry number 450, LGF Emerald's Dream 1183L, exhibited by Braylon Schaefer of Hagerstown, Indiana. In third place, entry number 445, TMC Margie's Rise, exhibited by Sarah Allard of Sidney, Nebraska. Fourth place, entry number 447, exhibited by Katie Fry of Roachdale, Indiana. Fifth place, entry number 440, exhibited by Amelia Clemens of Chestnut, Illinois. Now exhibiting in the Shorthorn ring is class number 38 of your early spring yearling females.
Boy, we turned it up again here. Great pair of females on the top side of this class. We talked about earlier in the day, I got hung up and sitting there waiting. Skeleton design. Boy, this one here does that. So good in her top line, in her hip, shoulder, neck juncture, fore rib, lower rib cage, hip loin, back to that hind leg. Well, I mean, she just from that standpoint, she gets hard to fault there. She's got enough power over her top and her hip, so extended and fresh about her chest and her head and neck. Just a good place to start. Really soft, powerful, good female comes in second. Little more chest, not quite as extended, not quite as long and sharp out of her hip, but the qualities there. I love her body shape, her three-dimensional look that she gives you, but one that's still so good at the ground, high quality one. Big stout one comes here in third, over her top and up out of her hip, pushing a little bit more performance, but she still handles it well. I think with that, her added foot size and her bone still maintains a flexible skeleton design. Yeah, sure, we'd like to tidy her up just a little bit in that lower 1/3 in her chest, but man, I still think that's a high quality female. A little more refined featured female at the ground comes next, a female that's got some body, some squareness. She just gives up too much from her hooks to her pins down into that hind leg compared to that one in front of her. The white moderate female comes in next. This is still a high quality female. She just comes at us in a little more compact, more moderate package, and I'd like to just see a little bit more of that heifer to run her a little higher. Good extended female comes in next, gets a little tighter in that lower 1/3, just doesn't have quite the body mass and density. Balance is what gets the young man's heifer that rounds out the class, just needs a little more balance and symmetry. Good set from top to bottom, high quality pair on the top side.
We get in here to this spring division here. I'm sure 3 awfully nice heifers to come out here and represent. Again, I'm not going to talk on them deep as we look here, but I think as we look at the heifer that come out of the first class, she's a heifer that was very nicely balanced. She is a heifer when we get right behind her. You like the shape that she has to her muscle. You like the shape of rib that she has. Might like to freshen her up just a touch in that very front end, but that's getting really, really picky on an awfully nice one. Heifer that was second in that class. There's the powerful heifer. A heifer when I got right behind her, boy, I love the extra stoutness and pin width that she has. She's a heifer that I like the stoutness and the fullness that she has in that forerib as well. A heifer that may get a touch shorter sided when we start studying her as compared to some of the others out here. Heifer that came out of that single entry class. Here's a really extended heifer. Here's a heifer that has plenty of depth from the side, plenty of shape when you get behind her. Heifer I might like to strengthen up in that forerib and tuck right in that chest just a touch when you view her from that front side. We'll go out here. We'll make our decision here on our champions and kind of look again for a reserve.
This is your third call, Class 42 Shorthorn. Third call, Class 42 Shorthorn. First call, Class 43. First call, Class 43 Shorthorn. At this time, we'd also like to recognize our royalty joining us here on the green chips here in Freedom Hall. We'd like to recognize your 2025 Miss Charolais USA, Miss Casey Conway from Canton, Texas. We'd also like to recognize our Shorthorn Queens and Lassie Queens. McKenna Giesman from Everhart, Michigan is the current National Shorthorn Lassie Queen. McKenna is a fourth-generation producer of quality Shorthorn genetics at Lakeside Farm. Having recently completed her study at Michigan State University, home of the Spartans, in the livestock industry program, McKenna had returned home to the farm, and she and her family are proud to be custodians of the generational farm homesteaded in 1876. McKenna works full-time and maintains a competitive string of junior show cattle, attending 8 to 12 junior shows each year. McKenna takes pride in the show ring success she has earned with a primary bred and owned group of Shorthorn and Shorthorn Plus cattle. McKenna has also found success marketing seed stock bulls and females at Lakeside Farm's annual fall open pasture event, expos, and private treaty sales. We'd also like to introduce Maggie Bass, your 2023 through 2024 alternate National Lassie Queen. Maggie is from the Sunflower State of Kansas. She is involved with the Kansas Shorthorn and Junior Shorthorn Associations, and Maggie has a cow-calf herd of about 30 purebred and Shorthorn Plus cattle. She is a sophomore at Hutchinson Community College and will be transferring to Kansas State University for the spring semester. Maggie is majoring in agricultural education with a minor in animal science. Maggie's favorite part of being a lassie has been the opportunity to meet Shorthorn breeders from across the country and build relationships. She believes that every size Shorthorn operation had the opportunity to contribute to something positive into the Shorthorn breed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for all of the royalty here for the Charolais and Shorthorn shows.
Once again, an outstanding set of cattle here from top to bottom, no doubt. The one that's fresh and agile is the young lady's heifer that's going to win. One that's good over her top and up through her front 1/3. Still balances good in her lower 1/3. Yet she's not as just truly dense as some heifers, but I think she's got plenty of it. I just like her skeletal build and just her balance and her smoothness within this particular class to rise up to the top. The red heifer coming in next is one I know giving this young lady some fits here, but I think her flexibility, her natural softness to the center part of her body, she's still good through her chest and her head and her neck. Maybe just gets a little bit deeper about that chest than that class winner, but still maintains a good look from the side. The heifer that's in third, and I thought about running this one just, this is a little bit closer decision between 2 and 3. This heifer here gets a little tighter in that forerib. That chest floor wants to drop out of her just ever so slightly more. So she doesn't balance up quite as good in her lower 1/3 as that one that's right in front of her. But she's long spine, level hip, good and still quality at the ground. Gets out and goes extremely nice. Those are 3 high quality females. Heifer coming in next, presented at a high level. I just want to change her from her hook bones back. She gets a little plainer from her hooks to her pins, wants to be a little rounder, gets a little bit plainer about the way she handles those hind legs when you set her into motion, but still a high quality female. Young lady gets a lot of good out of this one here coming in next, extended up through her front end, good about of her lines. Maybe for me, she just gets a little more concave, a little one-dimensional in that forerib back into that rib cage. Red heifer coming in next. Want to change her a little bit of her skeleton off of both ends, give her a little more flex and go, and a shot more softness through the center part of her body. But a good set from top to bottom, good complete heifer to win that class.
Your results of class number 16 of your early spring yearling Charolais females goes to entry number 95. SVY Elsa 345L, exhibited by Cheyenne Bennett of Winchester, Indiana. This is your second call, class 24. Charolais, second call, class 24.
Heifer that we're going to elect to win this class here, I think, did so rather easily for us. She's a heifer that combines a lot of good things. She's a feminine made type of a female. When you study the female from the side, you like the shape that she has to her leg. You get behind the heifer, you like the muscularity, you like the rib shape. Just a really easy place to land to start the class. We kind of had some back and forth between us on this second and third place animals and kind of had a little give and take. We elected this heifer in second. We liked the extension about the heifer. We like the way that when you view her from the side that she has the angle to her shoulder, and we like how she's much more relaxed in her spine as she tracks around the ring. Now, this is an awfully good one to land in third here. Here's the big rib, stout featured type of a female. She's really big down her top. She's big out of her hip, but a female gets just a touch upright when you look at her shoulder. She wants to get just a little uncomfortable in her spine. She tracks around the ring, but if you want to switch that second and third, we got no problems with it.
Second call, class 43 Shorthorn. Second call, class 43 Shorthorn. This is your first call, class 44. First call, class 44 Shorthorn.
Great set of April Junior yearlings here, and these 3 class winners sure kind of fit into each other quite well. You do these deals and you try to set a pattern and try to go, and boy, we got 3 females out here that are fresh, they're flexible, they got some length, they got some extension, but yet they still have got some product attached to their skeleton. The red heifer here is really just super intriguing. Boy, she's sharp up through her front 1/3. kind of blows back, good through her forerib back into that rear flank attachment, good over her top line and her hip. She bounces up really, really nice. She is truly strong right in the middle part of that back, as maybe that heifer that's right behind her, maybe not, but she might be just a shot longer hip and maybe just a shot more extended. The heifer that comes out in that next class, I made a comment. I mean, boy, this one's so razor good over her top. Everything fits together so nice and neat, so flat and good in that shoulder and her chest and her head and her neck. You know, she's just not over, just extreme in any one just area other than a simple fact of the term called just balanced. And she is just that. She puts a lot of things into a really nice complete package and a very functional package at that. The heifer that come out of that last division, once again, one that's got some width when you get in behind her. She too has that flexible skeleton. She wants to run downhill a little bit more, maybe not as good right in behind her shoulders as these two right in front of her. But man, when that young lady gets her planted like right there, she gives you that good wow look. Good shape to that rib cage. Her foot size and bone match is extremely nice. For me, it's a little bit close in this division. I'm going to give them another good look. Let's reward them with a nice round of applause, and we'll pick you a pair of champions.
This is your third and final call in Class 43 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 43 Shorthorn. Second call, Class 44. Second call, Class 44 Shorthorn. Results of class number 38 of your early spring yearling Shorthorn females. First place goes to entry number 453, CF Crystal Lucy 384, exhibited by Carter Wickard of Wilkinson, Indiana. Second place goes to entry number 463, SN Missing Mirage Legacy 372, exhibited by Caroline Hubner of Union City, Tennessee. Third place goes to entry number 458, CCS Sherry Soda 406L, exhibited by Don Cagwin of Virginia, Illinois. Fourth place, entry number 460, exhibited by Jacqueline Thomas of Pikeville, Tennessee. Fifth place, entry number 457, exhibited by Megan and Katie of Rockridge, Maryland. Sixth place, entry number 462, exhibited by Cora Stad of Prior Lake, Minnesota. In seventh place, entry number 452, exhibited by Lincoln Martin. Your Class 39 results. In first place, entry number 478, TRN Curtin Breck E 342, exhibited by Alexa Turner of Mahomet, Illinois. In second place, entry number 479, LGF Sol MFS Ruby's Dream 3401L, exhibited by Emily Hone of Elizabethtown, Indiana. In third place, entry number 471, SFF Nebraska Queen 339, exhibited by Alexa Lowe of Macy, Indiana. Fourth place goes to entry number 9, exhibited by Miller Smith of Pendleton, Indiana. Fifth place, entry number 470, exhibited by Liza Chamberlain of Hastings, Minnesota. Sixth place went to entry number 466, exhibited by Cannon Clear. Your early spring champion Shorthorn female goes to entry number 453, CF Crystal Lucy 384, exhibited by Carter Wickard of Wilkinson, Indiana. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 444, CF Traveling Ruby 394, exhibited by Reed Haynes of Greenville, Ohio. Now exhibiting in the Shorthorn ring is class number 42 of your junior yearling Shorthorn females. This is your third and final call, Class 43. Third and final call, Class 43 Shorthorn. This is your second call, Class 44. Second call, Class 44 Shorthorn.
Boy, just a class of really good type of livestock that's going to be productive, and they ought to be when they get to this age. If we're still feeding on them and we're still showing on them, they got to have a lot of good about them. I think the heifer that we started the class with does so rather handily. She's a heifer that, boy, I like the way she lays in her shoulder. I love the shape to her leg. When you study her from the side, you like the way that she handles her hip and she tracks around the ring. And then when you get behind the heifer and you look at her at the point of that shoulder, she lays in really tight when you view that shoulder from behind, but still's really strong on her forerib and has a lot of shape out of that top. Heifer that's in second. Here's a long spine, long fronted type of a heifer. It's a heifer that I love the way that she that front leg shape. I like how that knee's tucked back in there. A heifer that I love the shape of her body. The heifer that's in third, this is where it kind of gets a little close. I probably like the way that she handles her spine a touch better. A heifer that's maybe tucked in her chest a little bit neater. Heifer I'd like to drop down in that flank just a touch. Heifer I'd like to maybe lengthen out in their coupling. The heifer that we're going to round out the class with, this is a really, really nice heifer to land in the fourth hole. She's real practical livestock. That's good in her angles. She's a heifer that when she tracks around the ring, though, I'd like to see her step down in those pasterns just a little more command as she goes around the ring. Might like to see her strengthen in her forerib, but an awfully, awfully good heifer to land in the 4-hole.
This is your third and final call, Class 24. Third and final call, Class 24. Your Class 19 results of your Charolais Open Show. In first place, entry number 103, WGB BF Miss Bia 314P, exhibited by Addison Fiddler of Fairview, Illinois. In second place, entry number 98, WD 7143 Lucy 1L, exhibited by Reagan Dunn of Cochranton, Pennsylvania. In third place, entry number 101, Miss Roxanne 313P, exhibited by Addison Fiddler of Fairview, Illinois. Your Class 20 results. In first place, entry number 104, Boy H.L. Lilo 350L, exhibited by Avery Sweeney of Vinton, Iowa. In second place, entry number 105, GEIG Miss Angela, exhibited by Grant and Cash Rumpel of Decatur, Indiana. In third place, entry number 107, Boy H.L. Lucy 306L, exhibited by Dalton Geiger of Mattoon, Illinois. In fourth place, entry number 108, exhibited by Macy Hoag of Illinois City, Illinois.
Back on our Shorthorn side, an elite pair of females here to go 1 and 2. Two females that are extremely good at the ground. One's probably just a little denser and bolder over her top and up out of her hip, a little longer and squarer from her hooks to her pins, and that's the young man's heifer that's going to lead this duo off. She's a little bolder, about her foot size and her bone. She's just a little bolder up over her top and her loinage and from her hooks to her pins. Maybe not quite as flat in that shoulder as that one that ends up being second, but she's got just a shot more of that three-dimensional look. Talk about quality of the ground, maternal look, flat shouldered, still good her chest and her neck. Maybe gets just a little flatter and a little steeper as far as her muscle pattern over her loinage and from hooks to her pins, but that's outside. That's about the only thing that really separates these two, because when you do get behind this one here in second, she's got some width of skeleton design, and she does carry it down deep into that twist and that lower stifle. She just doesn't have it quite as much up high as that one that wins. Move the young man's heifer up here. One that's very bold, a little further along and calved than probably some, big-footed and big bone, extended up through her front end. She just doesn't come at us as sharp and as chiseled as those top two females. Heifer coming in next is one that is sharp and chiseled about her chest and her head and her neck. Maybe just gives up too much internal dimension right through that forerib and back into that rear flank. But still, the quality from her hooks to her pins and her levelness of her design, that's still a high quality one. Young lady's rounding out with one that's got some width of chest, width of base, and some power. She just comes at us a little more in pieces. Shoulders come up outside of her. Just gets a little bolder and coarser up through that front end compared to those ones that are in front of her. A good set, a really dynamic pair on the top side of that class.
Back in this junior division over here on the Charolais side, I think we got 4 really nice females to come out here and represent in this junior yearling division. Heifer that came out of that first class, sure a long spine, extended type of a heifer. When you study from the side, boy, you love the shape of those front and rear legs. Really like the way that she's built through there. I like the depth that she has. I like the extension that she has. Heifer that comes out of that second division, awfully nice pattern. I really love the way she hooks out of the top side of that shoulder into her neck. I like the way that she's built out of her hip. Love the power that she shows up in that forerib. We'll go out here. I'll select your champion reserve. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
All champion and reserve champion Charolais females to the makeup arena. All champion and reserve champion Charolais females to the makeup arena. This is your first call. All Charolais bulls to the makeup arena. First call. All Charolais bulls to the makeup arena. Congratulations, your junior champion Charolais female goes to entry number 104, Boy H.L. Lilo 350L, exhibited by Avery L. Sweeney of Vinton, Iowa. Your reserve champion junior Charolais female goes to entry number 103, WGB Miss Bia 314P, exhibited by Addison Fiddler of Fairview, Illinois. Now exhibiting in the ring is class number 24 of your early senior yearling Charolais females. This is your second call. All champion and reserve champion Charolais females to the makeup arena. Second call. All Charolais bulls to the makeup arena.
Nice trio of females here. Pretty domineering female the young man brings us here in this January class. Bold centered, bold top, bold hip, quality at the ground. Beautiful presentation. Good through her chest, her neck. He took all about ones, just naturally soft and square and good belt like this female quite well. The white heifer, these next two, is the bolder, denser one through her top, as far as her body shape, over her top and up out of her hip. Still maintains some flexible reach off of both ends. The red heifer coming in third, good in her lines, but just gets too linear there. Wants to get a little too concave in the middle part of her body cavity, just gives up too much power and performance. High quality female to win that trio.
Is a single entry in this senior division here. The young man brought an awfully high quality one out here. She's a big rib female. When you set her into motion, you like the way that her forerib ties into her shoulder. She's a heifer that hits all her points when she tracks around the ring. Heifer that should sure stand a lot more competition in this division. We'll see her back in here for the champion drive in a moment.
Final call. All champion and reserve champion Charolais females to the makeup arena. Final call. All champion and reserve champion Charolais females to the makeup arena. Your class 24 results: in first place and your senior champion female goes to entry 114, MCC Hot Honey 2508, exhibited by Brixton Birch of Oneida, South Dakota. This is your second call, class 47 and 50, Shorthorns. Second call, class 47 and 50, Shorthorns. Results of class number 42 of your open Shorthorn female show. In first place went to CFPC Mona Lisa 350, exhibited by Miller Smith of Pendleton, Indiana. Second place went to entry 497, LGF Knights of Ruby 3400L, exhibited by Colton Greenhorn of Bellbrook, Ohio. Third place went to entry number 501, Free Fitz Crystal Swan 2309, exhibited by Benjamin P. Allen of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. Fourth place went to entry number 498, exhibited by Shady Brook Ltd. Of West Brome, Quebec, Canada. Fifth place, entry number 487, exhibited by Adeline Vaughn of Maxwell, Iowa. Your Class 43 results. In first place went to entry number 505, CF Max Rosa 324, exhibited by Baylor Cowden of West Middletown, Pennsylvania. Second place went to entry number 506, FF Picture Perfect 1L, exhibited by Mason Fuller of Rensselaer, Indiana. Third place went to entry number 503, Martindale Cover Girl 315, exhibited by Norman Tulowski of Trafalgar, Indiana.
Good pair of females here on the top side of this class. Good set all the way through. Two females that are very functional at the ground. Females that maybe a little more toned down in their overall features, but two females that I think pair up extremely nice from a freshness and flexibility standpoint. The darker red females, one's just got just a shot more product. I think she's a little better from her hooks to her pins. I think she's one that's just a little bit bolder in the way that she's built. Still a high quality one. Heifer coming in second is one that's extremely good in her shoulder, her chest, and her neck. I love her in her lines and her overall design, her balance in her lower 1/3. For me, I think that she gets just a little bit flatter in that rib cage compared to that one that beats her. That's a close pair, two high quality, fresh yet athletic females. The white heifer coming in next is one that's got some bold features, bold bodied, but when we start to analyze her, compare her to the two heifers right in front of her, she wants to come apart a little more in that hip-loin juncture, right in behind those shoulders. She's still got the quality at the ground, the flexibility that we like. She's just not as sharp and crisp with those two right in front of her. Big stout one young man's got here, and sure, this one's got a lot of power, beautiful coat of hair. For me, she just kind of gets a little large, a little out there, maybe wants to push off of both ends just a little bit more, doesn't quite bring it together quite as well. Heifer rounding out the class is one that just is a really good high quality female just in her overall design, but she just doesn't have enough power and punch to get around the heifers right in front of her. A good set of females, good complete pair there on the top side of that class.
We get out here to our champion Charolais drive. As we study back down through here, I think we got a lot of quality brought to the table out in our champion drive. As we start all the way down on the end of that first division, there's a heifer that lays in real tight in her shoulder. There's a heifer that has a lot of body about her, a heifer that you just really like the overall design. As is the second division heifer here, a heifer that she kind of won that division based on the way she's made out of that front 1/3, made on her outline. We really love that about the female. Heifer that came out of this third division right here. Here's a heifer that's so unique up through that front end. She hooks up ultra high in the top of her shoulder, tucks in tight into her chest. A heifer that you love the leg design. Just a really neat one as we get down through here. Young lady out here in this fourth division brought a big bodied type of a female. Here's a heifer. We like her feet and legs. We like the body shape. We like the smoothness that she had. Heifer that comes out of this next division here, the gentleman has a big body type of a heifer that you like the shape of her leg when you view her from the side, a heifer that lays in nice in her shoulder and is probably nice enough up through that front end. Heifer that come out of this next division out here, big, powerful, big-footed type of female. Has a lot of power, but then when you step off to the side of her, there's a heifer that's flat in her shoulder. She hooks up really nice in the top side of that shoulder. Just a heifer that's got a lot of really good things happening about her. Young man had a single entry in that final division out here. He brought the big-bodied senior yearling out here for us. She's got a lot of length about her, got a lot of extension, an awfully nice single entry out there. Really appreciate getting to go through here. It's kind of been one of those deals. We're not trying to pick the trendy ones. We're trying to pick the practical type of livestock, the type that we'd be proud of. Appreciate you guys having us out here to evaluate these females. We'll go through and we'll show you the two that we like.
Third and final call, Class 47 and 50 Shorthorn. Third and final call, Class 47 and 50 Shorthorns to the makeup arena. All champion and reserve champion Shorthorn females to the makeup arena. All champion and reserve champion Shorthorn females, please make your way to the makeup arena.
Back on our Shorthorn side in our division here at this last junior yearling division, a high quality set of females from top to bottom, no doubt. Good pair of heifers come out of that first class. You know, here's some heifers. That pair of heifers there, you talk about athletic, ladylike females that still have some product and some freshness about us. I think that was a close decision. The heifer we chose, I think, just a little more three-dimensional over her top and from her hooks to her pins. That thing gets out and goes extremely nice. She balances up extremely well. Got a little extra length and extension from nose to tail and put so many nice things together. Really shapely, well presented one comes out of that next class. Very three-dimensional, bold through the center part of her body and her hip. You know, there's at times, you know, she, with all that mass she has, you know, she still could be a little bolder right in that forerib. She's good and bold up over her top and her hip, still presented at a high level. Dark red heifer coming out of that last class is one for me. She fits right into this mold. Sound, big bodied, got some hip and some structure when you get in behind her as far as pin width. Still maintains an elegance up through her front 1/3. She too probably could hook just a little bit better in that shoulder back into that forerib, push that chest back in her ever so slightly. But I still think she manages all that and still bounces up extremely well. For me, within this particular division, there's a pair of heifers that I think I have a hard time splitting, and it's the two that come out of the first class. Young man's going to be our champion. The one that was second to it be our reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations to your grand champion, Charolais female. Here in your open female show goes to entry number 104, Boy HL Lilo 350L, exhibited by Avery Sweeney of Vinton, Iowa. Your reserve grand champion, a Charolais female, goes to entry number 65, RF Miss Mora 3322, exhibited by Claire Norris of Eudora, Kansas. Congratulations once again to our Charolais female exhibitors. This is your final call, all Charolais bulls to the makeup arena. Once again, final call, all Charolais bulls to the makeup arena. Final call, all champion and reserve champion of Shorthorn females to the makeup arena. Final call, all champion and reserve champion of Shorthorn females to the makeup arena. Your Class 44 results of your Open Shorthorn Female Show. In first place went to entry number 509, CF Red Traveler 311, exhibited by Cornerstone Farms of Winchester, Indiana. Second place went to entry number 523, Myrtle Bow Walk, exhibited by Rex Harrison of Holly Pond, Alabama. Third place went to entry number 512, Myrtle Bow F6L, exhibited by Milia Cover of Bowling Green, Missouri. Fourth place, entry number 513, exhibited by K-Snap of Plymouth, Indiana. Fifth place went to entry number 511, exhibited by Nate Ruark of Hillsborough, Kentucky. Congratulations, your junior champion, Shorthorn Female, went to entry number 484, CFPC Mona Lisa 350, exhibited by Miller Smith of Pendleton, Indiana. Your reserve champion went to entry number 492, Correction, your reserve junior champion, Shorthorn Female, into entry number 497, Sol LGF Knights of Ruby 3400, exhibited by Colton Greenhorn of Bellbrook, Ohio. Congratulations to our Shorthorn exhibitors.
One of our last divisions of the day, the senior yearling. The red heifer that's going to win is one that sure fits the mold of what we've been looking for throughout the day. She's sound, she's flexible, so good in her design and presentation, flat-shouldered, good-chested, good neck, so well-balanced. Female that puts a lot of good together. You know, a little close for me in this 2 and 3 spot, especially with one that's got her calf at her side. But I'm going to give the nod to this one that's going to end up being second. I love her look and her style and her presence, her density through the middle part of her body and her hip and her over her top. Still one that's very flexible off of both ends, high quality female. Commend the young ladies here for bringing out one that's in production, one that's a flat shouldered and good neck, good belt. We could hook her up a little bit better in that hip loin juncture. She's got a nice setter about her, doing a great job with this bull calf. It's still a high quality female, just maybe doesn't have quite the overall width and dimension as far as those two right in front of her, but still a high quality pair. A young man rounding out the class, still another really good one that's flexible off of both ends, maybe just gets a little more rigid in the way that she's put together, hip loin juncture, shoulder back into that forerib, but one that's still got all the quality we've been looking for, just doesn't have quite the extra power as those ones in front of them. But still a high quality set, a good group, good heifer to lead off that division.
Your Class 47 results of your Shorthorn Female Show. In first place goes to entry number 526, CF Mona Lisa 2135, exhibited by Alyssa Carter of Oregonia, Ohio. Second place goes to entry number 528, Compton's Halley 208. Number 531, exhibited by Nate Ruark of Hillsborough, Kentucky. Those were also your automatic senior champion and reserve champion senior Shorthorn females. Now exhibiting the Shorthorn ring is class number 50 of your 2-year-old cow-calf pairs.
Really an impressive pair here, especially the calf. You talk about a female's put a lot of power into that calf. And you know, to me, that's what you're wanting, a high-quality cow. Calf might even be just a scotch better. She's good as far as, to me, as far as her teat size and her udder. Female that's still fresh. She's been working and still maintains the structural correctness that we've been looking for, and with a powerful heifer calf at her side. Let's congratulate these young men for an awfully outstanding cow-calf pair champion.
Your Class 50 results and also your champion and cow-calf pair goes to entry number 541, Shady Brook Bonfire 49K, exhibited by Shady Brook Farm Ltd. of West Brome, Quebec, Canada. And folks, don't forget to see your favorite photos of your exhibitors. Be sure to check out lindysPhotos.com. Once again, to see all those great photos that Lindy and her talented assistant photographers take here all week at the North American, be sure to visit lindysPhotos.com. At this time, we'd like to present the American Shorthorn Association Herdsman of the Year Award to Brittany Blankenship. Brittany is a second-generation Shorthorn breeder. Her passion for the Shorthorn breed started at an early age when she would ride in her car seat to feed and check cattle. At this early age, it was obvious that she would have a strong passion for cattle that would continue to grow. This passion has helped her develop into a detail-oriented cattle woman. This passion also drives her knowledge of pedigrees to determine breeding and cattle selection decisions. Brittany started her show career attending her first National Junior Shorthorn Show at age 9 in Lawton, Oklahoma, where she showed a ranch-bred heifer to take first-place buckle. This then led her to numerous family-bred champions at state, regional, and national levels. Brittany has been an integral part of the show barn at Lost Diamond Bee Ranch, where she is involved with cattle care, if it is feeding or midnight calving duties, sale cattle preparations, or show cattle prep. She has been involved in cattle selection and breeding decisions, which has led to numerous show ring awards and a successful annual production sale. Most notably, Brittany managed 2 national champion bulls, numerous division and regional champions, and a recent donor herd addition from Kate's Farms, who was national division winner. Brittany took a short sabbatical from the LDB ranch to follow her passion and further her knowledge with Kate's Farms, honing her skills in the show barn with sale cattle preparation. With this valuable knowledge, she has returned to focus on her own herd with LDB. Brittany is most happy when she is working cattle in the barn or at a Shorthorn cattle show. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me in congratulating Miss Brittany Blankenship, your 2024 American Shorthorn Association Herdsman of the Year.
I just wanted to make a couple comments. I think this is probably one of the most prestigious awards you can get from the barn. This is voted on by the peers in the barn. It's an annual belt buckle that's presented to the Herdsman of the Year. The Lawrence Grathwohl belt buckle, which is presented by the Shorthorn Foundation. And this young lady here has got the endorsement of everybody else in the barn this year. Let's give her a great round of applause. Without these herdsmen, we wouldn't have a show like we got. Thank you.
Once again, all Charolais bulls to the makeup arena. All Charolais bulls to the makeup arena. Attention in the barns with a purebred Shorthorn bull. Please make their way to the makeup arena. Purebred Shorthorn bull champion, please make your way to the makeup arena.
Well, folks, what an awesome lineup of cattle. And Barry there, you know, he made an interesting comment. A lot of guys at the end of these shows and stuff, they make a lot of things about themselves. I want to make this about the Shorthorn breed and the show. And this is no doubt, when I got the call from Monty that I was going to get the opportunity to judge this show, this has been I think I said it earlier today, I've been to this show for like 25 years consecutively. I haven't missed this show, and have tried and competed at this show for all of those years. And so and I've always admired this show right here. The purebred open Shorthorn show at the North American is one of the most prestigious and most impressive venues for the breed and just of cattle in general. And so my thanks to the Shorthorn Association and Monty and everybody a part of that board allowing me this opportunity, because, man, I've been looking forward to it, and I have had an absolute ball this afternoon. I'd like to thank my crew and my family for showing into several different rings today without me. And they'll probably say they got along better without me back there than they did. And so maybe I just should stay away. But I want sincere thanks to the crew and my family. We put a lot of heart and soul into this. But man, this is impressive, and every time I get asked to judge a show, and it doesn't matter, I take it with extreme honor, and I try to work really hard and give every breeder, every exhibitor, and every cattle that their benefit of the doubt, and try to wrap it in my mind really, really hard. And so we're not going to go back through these cattle, but if you can step back from the stands, and you Shorthorn breeders, give yourselves a big round of applause, because this is an impressive lineup of cattle, an awesome set of breeders and exhibitors, just an awesome, awesome venue. We'll go out here, and there's several females that are sure deserving this award. There's two females that I think for me, that kind of sums me up as far as what I like out here, and to me, once again, just an honor and a privilege, and to you know, Monty was talking about the Herdsman Award. This is a selection of my peers to get this opportunity to do this. And once again, I put my whole heart into this deal, and every time I get to judge. And so I thank you, breeders and exhibitors, showing great sportsmanship and bringing such an awesome set of cattle. I'll go out here and pick your champions for the Open Purebred Female Show, and I sure appreciate this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Back over here on our Charolais side, first class of bulls that we have out here, I think the bull that we start off the class with kind of combines balance and power. He's a bull, when you look at him and look at his design from the side, you like the way he hooks up in that front end, you like the levelness that he has down his top, you like the relation to the depth that he shows from the side. Just an awfully nice place to start. Bull in second, probably a little square out of his hip when you get to him from behind. Bull's got a lot of power, got a lot of muscularity. He sits down, has a lot of flex to his legs. A bull you might like to tighten up in the top side of that shoulder a little bit, have a little more extension, and clean him up in that sheath. The bull that we wrap up with, there's the extended type of a bull, the practical size type of a bull I'd like just to balance up a little bit nicer to place up any higher today.
And your grand champion Shorthorn female goes to entry number 484, CFPC Mona Lisa 350, exhibited by Miller Smith of Pendleton, Indiana. Your reserve grand champion Shorthorn female goes to entry number 427, Red Diva Theroux 33, exhibited by Colton Greenhorn of Bellbrook, Ohio. Congratulations once again to our Shorthorn exhibitors. Up next, we will have the Supreme Champion Shorthorn selection. Results of Class 30A of your Spring Bull Charolais calves. In first place, entry number 119, Border Patrol, exhibited by Katie Graves of Tipton, Indiana. Second place, entry number 121, SWF Mr. Outlier 435, exhibited by Slate Wind Farm of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Third place, entry number 120, exhibited by Isaac Clay Montgomery.
Got an awfully nice single entry that came out here in the class. Here's sure an extended maid type of a bull. It's a bull that hooks up really high in the top side of his shoulder. He's really neat about his chest. He's a bull that's long when you study him, and he's real practical in his size. A bull I might like to raise up in that pin set just a touch, but an awfully, awfully nice single entry bull that the people brought out here for us to look at.
I guess in closing comments, you know, this, what an extreme honor, and to pick the Supreme here between the bull and the heifer. And, you know, in the bull show, I thought was quite excellent. And, you know, and sometimes, you know, people, you know, want to gauge, you know, where does the Shorthorn breed in relation to the commercial cattlemen. And I thought that that bull division was very well represented. And there's a lot of practicality and use in all of those bulls. No doubt in my mind, though, as domineering as that female show was, and just like I was talking to Mr. Souls, I mean, it was just so many heifers in play for them final two spots. But that heifer that came out of there, I think, is quite the exceptional individual. Female is going to be our supreme individual. Congratulations.
And your supreme champion, Shorthorn, goes to entry number 484, CFPC Mona Lisa 350, exhibited by Miller Smith of Pendleton, Indiana. Once again, congratulations to all of our Shorthorn exhibitors today. On behalf of the North American, thank you for a great show. And ladies and gentlemen, and take care on your way home. Once again, thank you, Shorthorn exhibitors. Results of Class 30B of your Charolais Bull Show. In first place goes to entry number 123, SCC Kershaw 214M, exhibited by Gabriel Bowman of North Salem, Indiana. Now exhibiting in the Charolais Bull Ring is class number 30C.
Next class of bull cast that we have coming around, the bull coming around to us, I think wins so on balance. He's a bull, when you study him from the side, he's deeper in his flank in relation to his forerib. He's a bull, so a little more relaxed in his spine as he tracks around the ring. And more importantly, he's a bull that probably has a little nicer foot shape when you study him up close. Still, he's a bull I'd like to clean him up in those joints a little bit, gets a little bit out there on those hocks, but a nice place to start. The bull that comes in second, they're probably the cleaner jointed bull of the pair. He's a bull that has probably a little bit more extension when you study him from his shoulder and his hip. Just a bull, I might like to change the angle to his hip and his shoulder a little bit to place up any higher, maybe balance him out a little bit nicer in his flank.
Results of Class 30C. In first place goes to entry number 124, Reeves, Mr. Atlas Ace 2412, exhibited by Hayden Sampson of Afton, Tennessee. In second place, entry number 129, CE Pegasus Envy 16, exhibited by Epperson Cattle and Colby Epperson of Laredo, Missouri. Now exhibiting in the Charolais Bull Ring is a selection of your champion and reserve champion Spring Calf Bull.
Here in our first division of the Charolais Bull Show, we just talked all those classes right there, so we're not going to spend time going through talking them back to you again. But I thought awfully nice set of bulls to start off the bull show. We'll go ahead and show you the two that we like when we start looking back through them, and kind of look forward to seeing them back again in that champion drive.
Congratulations, your spring bull calf champion here in your Open Charolais Bull Show goes to entry number 119, Border Patrol, exhibited by Katie Graves of Tipton, Indiana. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 121, SWF Mr. Outlier 435, exhibited by Slate Wind Farm of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Now entering the ring is class number 37.
Really high quality single entry that came out here today. Here's a bull that combines power and balance when you study him from the side and then you step behind him. He doesn't disappoint you. When you watch this bull track around the ring, you really like the flexibility that he has. Gets out with a lot of ease and comfort, and an awfully nice single entry to have out here.
Your Class 33 winner and also your champion junior bull calf goes to entry number 136, TCCS Heartthrob, exhibited by TC Cattle Services of Ramsey, Illinois.
Really nice type of livestock to lead off this class out here. Here's a bull. Again, you know, when we start talking about design and build of an animal, we like the way he's made in that front 1/3. We love the body shape that he has. When you get behind the animal, he has a lot of muscularity about him. He has a nice shape to his rib. Easy place to start for us. Bullet comes out a second. Not taken away from the muscularity this bull has. He's a big-footed type of an animal. Just a bull that we might like to change up in the way he tracks around the ring today to place up any higher.
Congratulations, your Class 37 winner and also your champion, a senior bull calf, goes to entry number 146, Cars Money to Burn, 321P, exhibited by Carr Cattle Company of Webb City, Missouri. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 144, Barron's Outlaw, exhibited by Sarah Barron of Mount Vernon, Kentucky.
Only got a single entry in this intermediate division, but we got a really nice one. Here's practical kind of Charolais bulls. It's a bull, when you study him, he's a bull that brings performance. He's big in his testicular development. He tracks around the ring real easy. When you step behind the bull, you like his rib shape, you like his muscle shape. Just good type of cattle to represent the Charolais breed.
Congratulations, your Class 41 winner and champion intermediate Charolais bull goes to entry number 151, BJCF Utopia L140, exhibited by Bar J Livestock Incorporated of Liverpool, Texas.
Here's a really powerful single entry we have out here. A bull, you love that muscle shape. You love that rib shape. When you get behind the bull, you like the power that he has in that forerib. He maintains that all the way back through. But when you look at his extension he has up through his front, he still maintains an attractive profile. Just an awfully nice single entry out here.
Congratulations, your champion junior bull goes to entry number 159, 3 Aces White Horse 3523, exhibited by Alyssa Meyer of Clinton, Tennessee. Now entering the ring will be class number 48 of your senior yearling Charolais bulls.
Boy, the bull that starts off the class these young people brought out for us to look at today. You want to talk about one that'll add foot size and bone. Here's the type of bull. He's super masculine when you look at him through that front end. He's muscular. He has a large testicular development. You know, a bull maybe like to level him out just a touch in his hips when he travels around the ring. But once he parks, he balances up just right for us. Awfully nice type of a bull. Not taking anything away from this second bull. He's a little bit younger of an animal. He's a bull, though. When you look at him, that's a Charolais bull. He's got a lot of muscle about him. He's going to go out. He's going to cover the cows. We like the way he's made in that sheath. We like the muscle shape that he has. An awful nice second-place animal.
Results of class number 48 of your senior yearling Charolais Bulls. In first place, entry number 167, Barron's Secret Coffee, exhibited by Sarah Barron of Mount Vernon, Kentucky. In second place, entry number 165, CE Cool Resource, exhibited by Epperson Cattle and Colby Epperson of Laredo, Missouri.
Another really good single entry bull. Here's a bull, boy, when you look at it from the side, he's smooth made. We love the way that he's made in that front 1/3, the way that shoulder ties into that neck and into that chest. Then you follow back behind there. Really blends really uniquely into his forearm. When you step behind the bull, he's sure got a lot of muscle working for him. He still works out of a big foot. Just an awfully nice single entry.
Results of class number 49 of your summer senior yearling bulls. First place goes to entry number 168, Cars Mr. Ignite 222, owned and exhibited by Barjay Livestock Incorporated of Liverpool, Texas, and Carr Cattle Company of Webb City, Missouri. And don't forget, for all of our open show champion and reserve champions that have been crowned today, don't forget, we would love to have you stay for the Supreme Drive that will be held Thursday. At the conclusion of the North American, we will be selecting the top 5 cow-calf pairs, bulls, and females. So once again, all of our champion and reserve champion open show winners, please stick around for Thursday for the Supreme Drive of, once again, the cow-calf pairs, the bulls, as well as the females.
Got a couple, three really nice bulls that came out here for this division. We just talked about them in the class. We're not going to spend a lot of time going back on there. There's a bull that we really like out here that kind of fits all the bills for us. We'll go show you the 2 we like.
Congratulations, your senior champion Charolais bull goes to entry number 168, Cars Mr. Ignite 222P, exhibited by Barjay Livestock and Car Cattle Company. And your reserve champion goes to entry number 167, Barron's Secret Coffee, exhibited by Sarah Barron of Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Now exhibiting in the Charolais Bull Ring is a selection of your Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Charolais Bulls. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to see some of those great photographs taken today with the over 12 hours of showing we've had here in Freedom Hall and in Broadbent Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out some of those great ring shots that Lindy and her talented photographers have gotten, don't forget to check out lindysphotos.com to get some of those great North American photos. Once again, be sure to check out lindysphotos.com.
As we wrap up our bull show out here today, I think we didn't have very many numbers, but we had a lot of quality. We got a lot of bulls that can be used in herds, whether as cleanup bulls or AI sires that are going to really elevate the breed and elevate some herds. We start down here, this bull calf on the end. Here's an awfully nice design type of a calf. He's a calf when you step off from the side. You love that pattern about him. You get behind him, he still maintains a muscular look. The bull out of this second division that we have right here. Here's a bull. He may not be the deepest sided bull, but I think he's probably deep enough. And when you get behind the bull, you like the natural shape of rib that he has, but you really love the way that he's made in that shoulder structure. He's really nice and ties in real tight right there. He's super flexible as he tracks around the ring. The bull out of this third division that we have right here, he's an awful powerful type of a bull. He's a bull, when you get behind him, you love the power about him, you love the rib shape about him, might like to tighten him up in that shoulder a touch, but a really good type of bull. Bull come out of this single division, intermediates over here. A bull we talked about just being practical, good type of Charolais cattle. A bull that's going to get out. He's going to cover some cows and do so with ease. He's kind of in his working clothes right now, and what you see is what you get. He's a bull with muscle. He's a bull with body, but he's also a bull that tracks around real nice. The bull out of this 4th division, or the 5th division right here. Here's a bull that has a lot of balance, has a lot of look when you get from the side of him. Bull that you like his extension. You like the way that he tracks around off that rear leg. A bull, when you step behind him, he's probably good enough in that forerib, but he's really good in his top muscle shape, and you like his hip shape that he has. Bull that came out of that final division, like we said, there's a bull that kind of does a lot of things when you combine balance and power, a big-footed animal. A bull that's really smooth made. You love the way he is up through that front 1/3. We'll go out here. We'll show you guys the two that we like. You can kind of decide which ones you like.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together one more time for the father-son duo today that's been judging your Charolais, Mr. Matt and Lucas Crutcher. Your Grand Champion Charolais Bull goes to entry number 168, Cars Mr. Ignite 222P, owned and exhibited by Bar J Livestock Incorporated of Liverpool, Texas, and Car Cattle Company of Webb City, Missouri. In your reserve Grand Champion, a Charolais Bull, here at the 2024 North American, goes to entry number 159, 3 Aces White Horse 3523, exhibited by Alyssa Meyer of Clinton, Tennessee. Once again, congratulations to all of our Charolais exhibitors on another phenomenal show here at the 2024 North American.